Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to say, first off, sorry I'm a little bit late, but wiping out the middle class, that's the topic tonight. How you can close the wealth gap, because we always have to have solutions. And we're going to talk about that and much, much more. And I want to welcome you to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday night. And the Friday night live stream has commenced. Thank you again for being here. And please, in case you're new here, welcome. In case you're a member here, awesome. If you're a subscriber, awesome. Now, first things first, if you're new here, please smash the like button. And that's so the YouTube gods know that we have people in the house tonight. Second thing, please let me know if you received the YouTube notification, if you're a subscriber, and if you saw the trailer as well. That would be helpful. And then the other thing, let's get to it. Let's see who's in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Laverne Penix is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And he has the icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. And that also means he brings his tagline. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. Still in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some money. Paradise, in his case, means Dominican Republic once again, which is awesome. And let me know, Laverne Penix, if I can actually show some of that downtown video. And he's known here, ladies and gentlemen, the nickname attached to Laverne Penix is AKA Mr. Cool. And Mrs. Cool is in downtown Punta Cana. So let me know if I can actually show those pics from Coco Bongo. I'll have approval first before I put them up. But anyhow, thank you so much for being here. And he says, I received a notification. And also, I did receive video, but unfortunately, I can only upload MP4 videos. And for some reason, the format is in .mov, but I don't know what that is. So I couldn't upload it, the videos tonight for you guys, the pre-construction condos. They were kind enough to actually show some of the construction going on from 3 different projects, I believe. So I'm not able to load them up today, so you'll have to stay tuned. Monday, if I can't load it today, which I can't, which will be Monday, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get to see some properties that you may have invested in, and that's going to be pretty awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see who else. Just saying thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Miguel, Army retired veterans in the house. Thank you so much for being here tonight in the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And he brings in his tagline, God bless all my SSN family. I received a notification too. That's 2 people. I should be in paradise in 1 to 2 years permanently. Miguel, Army retired veteran. Yes, REA, where you own at. They were kind enough to shoot a picture. I don't know what section of the building this is, but they shot a picture. It says REA on the side. They have some rebar coming out the top. So that means they have started building your pre-construction property. That's right. So that is awesome. Thank you so much for being here once again. Professor Auntie Val is in the house. AKA Professor Auntie Val. Thank you so much for being here. And by the way, I forgot to mention Miguel Army Retired has the icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel as well. And if you want to know how to do that, you have to hit that join button. All right. Auntie Val is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation. Friday night live stream. And she has the icon as well, aka Professor Auntie Val. Good evening, fam. She has the heart, she has the strength and the support. And she saw the trailer. That's 3 people. That is very, very cool. That is awesome. Great news, Miguel. That is exactly right. Thank you, Auntie Val. God has been with me, helping me. That's right. And he provides as long as you take the steps, ladies and gentlemen. Laverne Penix, Miguel have decided what area you're moving to. Exactly. Because he actually has 3 different locations he can move to. That's it. Auntie Val with the heart. Victor Marrero's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. He has the icon next to his name as well, and he brings his tagline, except he twisted it a little. Hi, all. Let's do this. That's right. Hello to you too, Victor Marrero. And again, thank you so much for being here, and everyone here who's watching. Good evening, Laverne and Victor, showing the love in the house. Miguel, Army retired veteran. You know there are VA contracted facilities in DR, right? You can get your VA medications, and if you can also get treatment. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Really? That is awesome. That is too cool. G Heroes is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Thank you so much for being here in the house. I appreciate it. On our Friday night live stream. And he says, good vibes. Thank you so much. None but love in the house. Victor Marrero says, at Auntie Val, good evening. Showing some love. Look at here. Byzantine Red, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. I'm going to stop struggling. Thank you so much. That's very, very good to hear. Wiping out the middle class has already commenced, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. Let's talk about that, Byzantine Red. Let's talk about it, because wiping out the middle class, and we have to close that wealth gap. Well, you've already heard about part of how you were closing that wealth gap. Pre-construction properties. Why? Because you're able to get in because they want 10% or 15% down. Some may want more, but we're talking about the idea is to set yourself up for passive income via real estate, where you're renting it out via VRBO, Airbnb, Vacata, or some other platforms outside of the United States, and you make money while you're sleeping. And you didn't need any credit to get involved up front. Eventually down the road, you may need some special credit, but you're going to have 1, 2, or 3 years before your project is complete. So you had plenty of time to get your down payment in and be prepared. There are some things that we're going to talk about tonight, but again, this is how you can stay up to date with inflation and with the cost of living, because we always get to charge more, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Byzantine Red, thank you. Great topic. That's it exactly, because it's going to be scary tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but it's okay. First things first, down below in the description, I have several links. You guys know, if you're here, live streams, you know what the links are. Earn your free Bitcoin from using your computer, your phone, your laptop, your tablet. Any one of those will work. Or you can hook them all up. And while you're at work, or while you're on the playground, basketball court, tennis court, swimming, vacation, it could be running in the background. And then you have a referral link like I do down below, earn free Bitcoin. And then if someone else decides to run something on their computers or sign up other people, then you receive a little bit of extra pennies. That's how it works. It's pennies, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need any special equipment. It's not a mining rig. You're just using your own computing power. That's pretty cool. And especially when Bitcoin is down, that's when you want to get as much as you can. That's what we're talking about. Punta Cana by Miguel says, Punta Cana, Estacio sold me a lot. We know you were lucky enough to get that lot for $63,000, I believe it was, over there in Vista Cana. Awesome. And they were snapped up soon as he did the live stream here. It was gone in 24 hours after that, ladies and gentlemen. So that was beautiful. Victor Marrero says that, Miguel, you'll live like a king in DR with your military pension, especially outside the tourist traps. Every time I go, I have a blast. Exactly, Victor Marrero. Exactly. Byzantine Red says, agreed. Thank you so much, Byzantine Red. Thanks for the tips. Yo, Byzantine Red, please stand by. Just watch in the background because we're going to keep talking. There's going to be more and more tips going on. But let me see down below in the description. We got to talk about some other things first off, because not only is there going to be earn the free Bitcoin down below, there's always some other things usually. Oh, there's something I forgot about. You guys are going to have to join me on the Monday night live stream. There's a reason. Because the credit situation. There's a company called Smart Credit. A representative is going to come on. Generally, I kind of like akin it to it's a service where you can check all three of your credit bureaus. They are using Vantage, which it's all right. That's fine. But the thing is, it tells you certain things such as when your payments will help you improve your credit score, because a lot of people don't pay until their due date, but you can pay before your due date, and sometimes that helps increase your credit. So therefore, that is part of what they offer. I'm actually going to do a couple of things with Smart Credit. We're going to have, in fact, I can't even pronounce her name. I believe it's Amina Cortez, but I'm not sure if that's the last name. But anyhow, you guys will know we're having a special guest on Monday, how to improve your credit score. This little software system that they have is going to help improve it. I'm going to show you a little bit of it shortly. You know how we got to do that, right? But there's some things I'm going to start with, because the middle class wipeout, I want to get you guys to understand what middle class is. Nobody really knows. I don't think. Because basically, even if you're middle class, you're sitting there living paycheck to paycheck. We have people who make $100,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck these days. And some people would dismiss it and they would say, oh, that's because they're just going out here eating out every day. They're going out here partying every weekend. But that's not the case, ladies and gentlemen, because when the cost of living goes up, the cost of food and goods and services go up. That's how the middle class gets wiped out. When inflation kicks in of 20%, 15%, that 100,000 can only buy 85,000 if it's 15%. Let's say it's 2 years in a row, which is what happened. So now you're down from 85 2 years later. It's really like you're making 70 or 75. So that's 6 G's a month. So now all of a sudden, when the rent goes up to $2,000 a month, right, or home prices go up to $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000 a month, $6,000 of buying power is not going to cut it. So that's where the problem comes in. So they're saying, I make a lot more money, but why am I living paycheck to paycheck? It makes no sense. And it's disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. But if you actually want to attach a number to it, then that's what we can talk about right now. Because of course we're talking Google. Of course we're talking April 2022, before they raised the interest rate. But you can see here on the screen, right? I'll do full screen because some people may not have full, but you can read it. You can go to the top and you'll see what it says, the monetary number they attach. But look at this. Here's the kicker right here, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is why you get fooled. You look at the numbers, everybody glances to what's in the bold, and they see 51,962 to 155,902. And that's for everybody on podcast. Now, this is incredible. This is incredible because you notice that income for middle class in 2022, but what you may not notice is that's for a 3-person household. 3 people have to be earning. And since everybody here in the SSN Nation knows the average wage in America is damn near $35,000 to $40,000 a year, clearly, in order to get 51 to 155, that's why they say you need 3. Now, this is going to be even more interesting because you guys thought the income for the middle class was that, but Here's the thing. To be considered middle class, while a family of four must earn about 60,000 to 180. How about that for middle class, ladies and gentlemen? 5 G's a month, almost double what most average wage earners make in America, just on the bottom end of the spectrum. You see why I say the middle class is being wiped out, because who knew that $5,000 a month was going to be chump change 10 years ago, right? Who knew a family of four, people making $110,000 a month or a year, that would be chump change to a lot of people. So again, this is what I'm trying to say. When everything goes up, you have to make more money exponentially to live the same. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. Is that insane numbers? How many people in the house has to work? That's crazy. That is really, really crazy right now. All right. That's the first part, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thanks for the tips. Here we are. Hope to see you there, Victor Morrell. Well, it sounds like you will, but Victor Morrell gave us bad news. They in case you're doing pre-construction at Conner Rock, he received information that they're moving it back till next year. Before they're going to be finished. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Gary White is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. He has the icon next to his name. He brings the tagline with him, ladies and gentlemen, and it kindly says, "Good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you too, Gary White." And he has the other tagline portion saying, "Let's get it." And that's what we have to do around here. We have to get it, ladies and gentlemen, because, well, you got to get the information, because then you know what to do. That's the key right here. We're going into some things, but again, that's why you want to do the free Bitcoin. Why not? I don't understand why you wouldn't. The link is down below in the description. The smart credit that I just talked about, we're going to have Jimena on Monday night money making live stream, and that's going to help you save your credit, make it better, because it's going to give you pay dates. You can actually, if you have it's weird. It's something that I don't want to talk about right now, because they have something that's kind of weird to me, where you can actually send a letter in, but it's not to the bureaus. It's to the creditor if there's a mistake. You guys know, if you're going to do any type of sending letters to anybody, it should be to the bureau, because the bureau actually will send the letter out. But we're going to find out why that's the case, because they charge for the service. So that's why I'm going to have a little problem, slight problem with it. But again, it can help people improve their credit, because it can tell you when you make your payments, how your credit score can be improved. Clearly, the sooner you pay before your due date, that could help your credit improve. And especially when they do that, they check your account before they post it on the credit bureaus, because your due date might not be the snapshot date, which a lot of people pay on their due date. The snapshot date could be 3 or 4 days ahead, or 3 or 4 days behind. So if you reduce how much you owe, then that means you can improve your credit score. So that's why you need to know what date is what, but their software helps you out. And I'll bring up a little bit of it right now. Let me go pull it up. Why not, ladies and gentlemen? I have a little bit of it, but again, join us back on Monday. We'll be talking a little bit of credit, all right, with smart credit. And yes, I do have the link down below if you want to go check it out. All right. You want to go check it out. And it does cost, though. Keep this in mind. This is very important. They have a $24.95 program. That's how much it costs per month. But the thing is, that keeps track of all 3 credit bureaus. They have something that's a little bit less, but it's only $4 or $5 less, but it only gives you like 1 credit bureau. So there's no point in going with the smaller amount and only 1 credit bureau. That would make no sense. So again, you see on the screen a little bit here. Gary White, thank you so much again. He says, blood in these streets. Gary White, oh, hold on tight, my man. The middle class is about to get reset. And the reason why I say this is because there is going to be blood in the streets. And all this means is the balloon is going to get larger and larger and larger next time. So what I'm trying to tell you is blood in the streets. This is why you have to take advantage right now. You got to get your hooks into some business opportunities that can bring you in extra money. You got to get your hooks in. If you believe crypto is going to go back up, well, you might as well wait on crypto to see how far it goes down. If you believe stocks are going to go up or down, you're going to have to make decisions. I personally think stocks are going down. What's going to happen with real estate? If the Fed increased the interest rate, you guys know what's going to happen. Their prices are going to come down. So blood in the streets, be patient and be prepared. But you're going to have to make more money, even if we add the passive streams of revenue in. Here's the funny part. We cannot sustain a situation if inflation is really 15 to 20%. Even if your company made, let's say you did a side business or started a new business and you made $40,000 a year. Even with that, if inflation is 20%, that means it's $32,000 worth of buying power. And then the following year, you're down into the 20s. So you have to make more money. And that's a lot more money for a business, for especially a small business, to go from 40,000 profit to 20% more. That's hefty. That's another 8,000. So the following year, you got to be around 50,000 just to be able to stay level. Now you're understanding how come the middle class is getting wiped out. And now you understand how it's increasingly harder and harder to stay in business. Even the big boys. And I'll use Tesla. If you guys missed the video that I dropped earlier today, you might want to check that out, because I actually went over some of the businesses that were laying people off. You guys have heard of Tesla. He's talking about 10% layoffs, right? You guys have heard maybe of Carvana, where they're talking about thousands of people laid off. These companies pay people pretty good. That's going to be siphoned out. Those are middle class jobs. All right. And in Tesla, some are upper class as well. So just think, some people are in Tesla right now making like 200, 220, whatever, but they could be out of a job because they have to cut their workforce. 20% inflation means when I pay my employees, that is very costly in any business. So therefore, you'll say, well, let me cut 10%, because all that money I'll have in-house. So it makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have to make decisions like that too. But yes, blood in the streets, and I think there's going to be more blood. The Federal Reserve is going to raise their interest rate another few percentage points, but don't even deal with that. The lenders, they're going to start taking advantage. They're going to increase their interest rates before the Fed does anything in the next three months from now. So just think about that. If you think 5.95 or 6.2% is bad, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, good credit. What's going to happen when you have good credit and they go, we want 8%, 9%, 8.5? What's going to happen then? All right. So we're on the screen here. Look, fun, fast, and simple, where you get your best credit score. And it's on the ScoreMaster system, but in our case, it's Smart Credit. It's a sister of this. Better deals. It's personalized financial. Average of 97 points available. User adds 61 points in as little as 20 days. Now, I don't know how you would make the statements, because it depends on what a person has as far as how much they owe. And you always want to be under 10% for your optimal credit scores on your credit cards. See, three credit bureaus, reports and scores, one per month. You get all that. So there's two different memberships, like I said. Auctions and Alert, Money Manager, 1 million family fraud insurance, because there's a lot of hackers around here. So again, don't miss out on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. You'll actually have the representative from Smart Credit here. All right, there we go. All right, Miguel, Army retired veteran. We'll definitely meet up there. I won't close on my place in Cana Rock until July 2023. However, at Punta Cana every year, October. Oh, he's going during. Oh, you like taking risk, I see, Marrero. All right, I see how it is. Isn't that like hurricane season or something? I see you like taking risk. Okay. All right. But he's taking risks, ladies and gentlemen, and he got that passive income coming in. All right. Miguel says, spoke with Estacio. He said Noriega Group is not charging their customers new construction fees. Yeah, Noriega standing by what they wanted to invest in. And that is incredible because that's a subject matter that I want to talk about also. This is how the middle class is getting wiped out. The builders, and not only in the DR, it's all over America. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you may not have heard, I dropped a video about it, that in the DR, just like in America, the pre-construction that we are accustomed to, where you get in early, you take advantage. The prices go up just like what people did just a year and a half ago. They bought property at $295,000. It's built. The developers are canceling their contract and then putting it back up on the market for $550,000, $600,000. That's how much difference in only a year and a half is for a $300,000 essentially home. That's how far the real estate market has went up. Now you know how far the real estate market's going to be dropping because the Fed's going to raise interest rates every 3 months for the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, almost a year. All right. They got to get it up to a certain level so then they can bring it back down. So guess who's going to feel the pain? You are, we are, middle class, because now the grocery store costs more, energy costs more, everything costs more because they borrow at a higher rate now. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, speaking of that, we have somebody else here. Elizabeth Gonzalez says, I spoke to Panorama Lake today. 7% increase is real. Thanks you for bringing awareness. Yes, Elizabeth Gonzalez. Exactly. And they're wavering to take it down by 5%. That also means all of us at Panorama, I would say, are going to have a freaking 7% increase. When you have 100,000, it's now 107. 150 is now 160. It's not off the charts, but here's the effect, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this before. Here's the effect. Okay, so when you put down, I'll use 100,000. You put down 40% and you owe 60,000. 60,000 debt to income ratio, 60% debt to income ratio. That's in the ballpark. That's pretty good. But if they turn around and said, okay, no, you don't owe 100,000, you owe 107, that just moved you up closer to 70% instead of 60. And when the economy goes bad, guess what happens to a 70% loan to value type situation? That is not good. We need to be close as possible to 50 if we can. Now, here's the thing though. The property should be worth more than 107. So it should be worth, for instance, 120 at least. So now our 60 would be 50. But again, this now puts things in a different perspective because we don't know what's going to happen overall, even with pre-construction. Right now, we're living like fat cats if they would have built our stuff. It would be highly priced. Who knows what's going to happen if the economy with the real estate comes back down? Maybe that'll bring our pre-construction prices down because nobody can afford on the back end. And those back end people, their projects are going to be finished right now over the next 6 months, 12 months. They're the ones that's going to have these high interest rates. Well, higher because it's going to be second home usually. So they might already have to be paying 8 or 9%. So now all of a sudden, some people may not qualify. Now all of a sudden, the guys are caught in a rock and a hard place, the developers. This could go bad, but then again, we could still win too. So you never know. So we're going to have to stay on top of it, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you so much, Elizabeth Gonzalez, for being here in the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. I appreciate this comment, but let me know one thing. Did they waver on the 5%? Because I was still waiting to hear back before I made any announcement, but I'm glad you actually talked to them and you confirmed the 7, because it was like they were wavering 7 or 5. So it looks like it's going to be 7. This ain't good. Victor Morrell says, I heard today that interest rate for scores between 640 and 720 has came to around 7 point. There we go. That's over $3,000 a month when including taxes and insurance. Not too many families can crank up $3,500 a month. Exactly. He's exactly right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at, boys and girls. There's nothing we can do about this. But you guys already know why you shouldn't be buying anything right now. Did you miss that video? You should go check it out. You can search the channel. You shouldn't be buying real estate right now just to live in. There's a distinction. If you're buying real estate to live in, please wait. That's all I can tell you. Prices are starting to come down. So please wait, especially when in 3 months. Well, you already see the 7.2. I've queued up some things. Let me go. Let's go, because again, we might have some new people here who don't understand what we're talking about. But here you go. On a 400K more. Okay. Then Marrero, it's more than 3K, my man. Yeah, that's gonna be. Oh wait, no, that's about right. Yeah, that is 3K. You're right. 3K. I was thinking of 800K, but yeah, that's 3K a month. That's it. He's right. You got to, and that means you got to get this, ladies and gentlemen. How do you wipe out the middle class? That's 9,000. That means you have to make 108,000 a year to buy a $400,000 house, because the interest rate is 7.2. And you see how you can get wiped out again, because most people have debt of other sorts, credit cards, whatever. So now you're going to have to be paying in for a $400,000 house well into the hundreds, or your household income has to be well into the hundreds, 130, 125, 140, 10 G's a month. Less and less people are going to be making 10 G's a month from their employer, if your employer is still going to be able to be around after this next event that's going to occur. All right. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we have to talk about. There we go. Byzantine Red. Exactly. I'm waiting for the lawyer to call Tuesday. Yeah, Elizabeth Gonzalez, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, they didn't want to answer any additional questions. Of course not. Because this right here, this is what, okay, I'm going to talk about this because I already had this queued up, but I'm going to hold on a second. I went to this, but let me show you something else, because this is going to be a major factor. Apparently, what the developers have learned from 2007, 8, and 9, when all these developers went out of business, they have these little clauses in their contracts. And it's worse than in the DR. America, the third world country, is worse than the DR. Can you believe that? I just can't believe it. Let me see. Here we go. Shout out to everybody in Texas. All right, this is bad. People in Florida now is getting the same treatment. These developers, these dogs, these unethical people, they came in here and they have put clauses in their contracts that allow them to cancel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have a pre-construction in the United States of America. You buy a home, like I mentioned, $290,000 is one that I saw, but there's several. This is a thing now. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, they are turning around right when they're closing, and then they come up with, oh, we have a problem with you because you're asking about, hey, can I come over and check out my place? That's their excuse, right? And then they give them a cancellation. They give them back their down payment, their monthlies, whatever their agreement was, plus $500. And then soon as they get that back signed, they put it on the market for over $500,000. They were going to buy it $292. They put it up for $500 soon as they got their cancellation agreement back. And I don't even think they have to sign. The developer can just out and out just say, we don't want to do anything. That's what you're seeing on the screen right now. North Texas home buyers told to pay more or have builders canceling the contract. This is June 2nd, 2022. This is happening all over Houston, Dallas. It's happening in Florida. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're going to have to look at your contracts to make sure there's no cancellation. And guess what? You have no recourse. Zero recourse. They can do it because it's in the contract. So what's happening over in the DR? They put in their contracts, okay, we can go up to 10% in a lot of contracts. 10% isn't overly crazy, but I'm going to tell you right now, you come out here you go, ladies and gentlemen. You see it on the screen for yourself. This is what are in their contracts in America. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? In America, they're doing this to us. This is outrageous. Outrageous. And who thought the day would come that you go buy real estate in a pre-construction environment, and the next thing you know, they're talking about, oh, we can just terminate anytime. Pretty much. And they've terminated. This isn't just one or two people. This is dozens, hundreds, thousands. Who knows the extent of this? It's in several cities and several states. They're putting these clauses in. And like I said, I even found some in Florida. The developers are not even taking chances anymore. They're getting you in to sign a contract that says $292,000. And then because you're winning, you would have had all that $200,000 plus worth of equity. They say, we'll take it. We'll terminate your contract. This is a travesty. This is diabolical. Again, I think I'm going to be using diabolical for the rest of the year. This is unbelievable. And you have no way out because it's in the contract. So now you guys who are going to do any pre-construction, now you know what has to come out of your contract before you enter into anything. You know, either way, even if you don't like the 10%, because on some properties, if you bought a $200,000 property, and next thing you know, they start doing some stuff, that's $220 now. If you buy a $300, that's $330. If you buy in America, where they say they can terminate your contract, and you bought a house or a condo or whatever for $250, and the next thing you know, it's $500, and they know it and you know it, and you're sitting there going, yes, I got $250,000 equity. They're like, nope, we're snatching that. We're giving you back your down payments, your deposits, your whatever, plus $500 extra, big deal. Unbelievable. All right. So some of you might have read that as long as I've had it on the screen, but this is incredible. All right. A3 Saval's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And he says, hello, Eric and SSN crew. Things are getting spooky. Many won't make it. Wealth transfer. That's it exactly. It's not going to happen. Wealth transfer is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to get on the train. And that's why I started SSN Lifestyle, because not everybody's going to be able to get on the train. And that's why you should get on the train now, because you're going to be able to make social media marketing money, because you can refer people to the website. You can receive commission. You also can join and receive benefits as well. And we have products and services. So therefore, membership has its privileges. You'll be able to do a lot of things. So again, we're starting SSN Lifestyle rolling out. So go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. There is a link down below. You can go from 0 membership to the Founders Club membership. There's 11 out of 15 spots still available, because there's only 15 people that can have a Founders Club membership. After that, that is closed off. The highest membership level will be a Premier, and that's it. And Premier does not match the Founders Club. So I just want to let you know, get in early, because next month we start a couple of things. Commissions, bonus pools, commissions already, but bonus pool comes out. And also for Founders Club members, the airport lounge access and a lot of other things starting. So keep that in mind. And so this is what we want to do. You got to stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the I-Team shows it. And I believe I think they were in Dallas, Texas. And here goes one. Here's Austin. Braun Holmes, again, canceled their contracts. This is outrageous. This is in Austin, Texas, a place that 3 years ago you could have bought a $150,000 house, and that $150,000 house could be like $800,000 right now. It's outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. It's outrageous. Hold on. What's happening here? Oh, it's taking a minute. Okay, this is the one. This is crazy. All right, here we go. FYI, here are some stocks and ETFs that are still up, at least in my portfolio. AMPI. Ladies and gentlemen, he's dropping some gems. Make sure you have that pen, pad, and paper out. He's dropping some gems right now. ROE, PFE, MRK, CV. Yes. I will have to say CVS. CM, I like AMPI. ON, yes, these are going to do very well in a bad economy. CVS, Home Staple. Like I said, you got to go with Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson. You got to go with these Costco, Sam's Clubs. That's where a lot of people are going to be shopping because that's where you can get your bulk items. FDL, VPU, Feudy. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Victor Marrero, because a lot of people, yes, I see you down there, Professor Auntie Val. I see it. But first, I'm going to pull this up first because you have a very, very valid point. And that's exactly what they're doing. So I wanted to get the numbers on this one. This one right here, I wish I could have shown the actual video. But this one right here, I do know a little bit about. And these guys, here it is. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. They thought, just like anybody would, they hit the jackpot. Look at this. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 343 was the median home price. And again, I have to explain median. The reason why they use median instead of average is because, again, if you have, I'll use 100 homes, and you have, it doesn't matter. The lower 50 home number 1 through home number 50, but home number 1 might have only cost $300,000. Home number 2 might have only cost $305,000. So what they do is they take home number 50 in the middle, the 50th home right in the middle, and they say, okay, that's 343. So that's median. They're not taking like the average. So they're not counting all 100 homes and adding them together based on their sale price. The average could be different. The average generally is going to be higher, but nonetheless, 343 in 2020, they enter into a contractual agreement. It's a year and a half later, and they sit there and they go, oh, I'm sorry. The home is worth, well, they're worth 500 now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And for them, they are the ones that bought for 292, and then they resold for 550, I believe it was. So they were sitting pretty. And then look at this shoddy work. This is the bathroom, if you can see that screen on the right, where it was less than 3 feet wide. Crazy stuff. So they were doing the pre-build. They go in, and when they go in and go check it out, all of a sudden they go, hey, this is only 2 feet and something. And they showed the guys the picture, and they said, hey, you got to come and fix this or do something, right? They're inspecting their place. That's when they sent them a contract for cancellation. They were going to send them a contract for cancellation anyhow, because they're going to take that $200,000 profit from those people. But anyhow, this is another one. In fact, I'll let you guys, I'm going to put this in the chat room so you guys can go see for yourselves. This stuff is wacky. And there's like 3 or 4 people sitting at the table that this happened to. So it's not isolated. And then the company has nerve to say that they don't do this. They take it very seriously. And I'm like, I don't think so. It's not too hard for doing what Professor Auntie Val has put down here. In fact, let me see where it is, because she says it best right here. So basically, they got an interest-free loan from you to build so they can sell at the real price. That's exactly what happened, Professor Auntie Val. Are you guys seeing how the top 10 percenters operate? They changed the game. See, and you just thought they changed the game on other people. They're changing the game on everybody. You're getting screwed just like everybody else is getting screwed. You just don't know it. So again, here we go. So basically, she's here. You guys know how I talk derivatives. If you're new, derivative is basically, I go sign a contract with the developer. His contract says $292,000. The developer, because they're doing 50 custom homes, that's just go 50 and round up to 300,000, right? So when you go 50 times 300,000, keep in mind 10 times 300,000 is 3 million, right? 5 times 3 million, 15 million, right? So he has those 50 homes. People have put down their money. He takes his little contract. He goes see somebody else and says, hey, I'm building this project. I got these 50 homes under paper. They put down 20% or 10%, whatever the case may be. How much will you buy this paper for? They go, oh, it's 15 million. Well, hey, how does this 5 million sound to you? Good. They just got a free loan on your paper. Okay. Now, not only that, now here's the diabolical part. What they're doing now, because they have a cancellation agreement. So they go, we're canceling it. They call up their buddies. We're canceling it. All right. This is what we're doing. We're going to cancel their contracts. And that $15 million contract, it's now going to be worth, those 50 homes, they're actually worth $500,000 each now. So now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 times 500 is 5 million. 5 million times 5, 25 million. We're going to renegotiate that, right? Yes, we are, because you have $25 million worth of stuff. So I think I should be getting an extra, whatever, 10, 12 million. Yes, no problem. There we go. This is how diabolical this is, ladies and gentlemen, using your money, your credit, because by the way, they got to be pre-approved. Can you believe that too? So in Texas, pre-approval and everything. And these guys are able to cancel it because the property values went up to $300,000. Disgusting. Exactly right, Professor Auntie Val. A3 of all, interesting how new projects going forward, what language they will try to use. Buyers will be smarter. Hey, this is I've never seen this before. I don't know if it was because, like I said, I generally on the West Coast, but it probably happens in California nowadays too, because all developers are trying to get away with the same thing, although all states are different. So you may not be able to do this cancellation, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Here's the thing. What happens if it was reversed? You hit a crisis like we're about to, and the price goes down. Let's just say they bought for $300,000. That's what their contract said. But now the house is only worth $225,000. They're not going to cancel the contract. But I think in some cases, there's a twofer. And what I mean by a twofer, the developer can cancel, and also the buyer can cancel. In some states, I saw contracts on that too. So it works both ways. But the fact of the matter is, if you do pre-construction, the odds of your home costing less is damn near that's pretty slim. So the developer in this case, they're not going to mind if you canceled, but they're not going to allow you to cancel. They're going to make sure you cancel, because they're going to exercise their option where they can terminate. And like I said, the only penalty is they might have to give there is no penalty. They're giving you back your money, and then you're paying a $500, $1,000 fee. They're paying it. So what? You'd rather have the $200,000-$300,000 of equity. You don't care about that little 1,000 or 500 that they're adding in and giving you your money back after they had it for a year and a half. That doesn't even make any sense. This is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going on out here. This is why the middle class gets wiped out, because they change the rules on you all the time. That's what happens. The top 10 percenters, that how can you close the wealth gap? It's very hard. And that's why you have to start your own businesses. You have to be involved. You have to be involved with the community and SSN Nation. And Mr. Financial's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. You have to be involved with Mr. Financial, otherwise known as Chili Davis. He's over there telling people what's going on in the stock market on his channel, CHILLY Davis. For everybody on podcast, you can go check it out and subscribe. And click the all notification bell there too. And check him out, because he gives updates throughout the day, and he brings his tagline, "Good evening, SSN family." And he has the ABMM, always be making money. That's how we do it here, because there's no way out, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost in boxes. We're almost boxed in. Almost. And there's even more to the story. There's more to this story, ladies and gentlemen, regarding real estate and regarding how they're wiping out the middle class. There's more. We're going to talk about that shortly. But again, down below in the description, make sure you go down there and look. There's ways that you can get free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. There's ways that you can get free Bitcoin, earn it using your computer, your tablet, your laptop, your phone, all of those devices together. And you can invite other people to earn their free Bitcoin. And that starts your own little network, just like we have an SSN Nation network, right? Because some people use the link. They have their browser, because it's a separate browser, and it's running all the day while you're sleeping, while you're awake, while you're at work, and you're getting pennies. Now, pennies add up over time, ladies and gentlemen, and especially if you have a little network where another 10, 12, 15, 20 people have signed up. Next thing you know, you're earning 5 cents a day. You know, it just works a little bit. All right. Now, down below, I mentioned this on Wednesday. I mentioned this on Monday. Chili Davis, Mr. Financial, he started his YouTube channel. Everybody should be starting some sort of social media platforms for what you love to do. And that's what you need to do, along with podcasts, along with streaming. I use StreamYard, podcasts, Buzzsprout. They help you get on, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all these others, and for free. Both have free versions and both have paid versions. So take your choice. But nonetheless, those links are down below. In fact, if you haven't signed up for our social media, please, at the very bottom of this description box, sign up for our social media. If you would have, and you already have Robinhood and Webull. So some of you, if you haven't signed up with Webull, I suggest you use the link down below in the description. I'd greatly appreciate it. That's my link. And they have a new promotion right now for only about a week to 10 days. 20 free stocks for referring another person if you already have Webull. If this is the first time you're signing up with Webull, they have a promotion where you're getting 5 free stocks. And there's a way to get +1, which I don't know what that was, but there's another way to get +1. Now, here's the reason why this is kind of exciting, is the same reason it's exciting for Bitcoin. Prices are down from their all-time highs, right? Year over year. So if you're getting some free shares of stock right now while stocks are down, that is a good entry point. And if they're going to give you 20 of them because you refer somebody else, everybody who hasn't downloaded Webull, you need to get it done now. The link is down below in the description. And everybody who has Webull, you need to share it with your friends, family, social media platforms, whatever, because they're giving you 20. That's insane. So again, that is options for you as well. Okay, we're going to keep it rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. All right, so you see that on the screen. I put it in the chat room. Curtis Davis, Eric, are you saying a builder can sell your custom built from you? Yes, Curtis Davis. That's what developers are doing in Texas, in Florida, in Idaho, all over. Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas. I think the other one was like in Fort Lauderdale or somewhere like that in South Florida. This is getting insane. In Canada, it's happening. Wilson Koo can probably attest to it. It's happening all over. They're putting in this clause. It's sick. It's so, so sick. I just can't believe it. It's so, so sick. It's sick. I just can't believe this. So basically, you now have to look in your contract if you're having a home builder, even a reputable one. Just what we have going on in the DR where people are going, yeah, they want their contracts do say 10% more, up to 10% more, except at Christopher, their contracts don't have a percentage. So they're having people who bought at seemingly awesome prices. A guy has a Christopher property, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, with a rooftop terrace, somewhat of a penthouse. And get this, he got in so early, $49,900. They said, sorry about the $49,900. It's now $71,200 or whatever the hell it is, but we want $20-some thousand more. After it's already paid off, after it was supposed to be within the 60-day platform, the timeline to complete, he completed. So he's paid in full. And then they said, we need another 20 grand because it's worth 71. Otherwise, you can't get it. Is that incredible? That's what they did in the DR at Christopher. That's what they're doing. A guy has another property, 3-bedroom, $67,000. They want now $97,000. This is at Christopher. Epic, I don't know the numbers at Epic. And then now you know it's a confirmation. We were talking about Panorama last week when I first did that video where it was 7,000 or 5,000. This is how the middle class gets wiped out, ladies and gentlemen, because traditionally you wouldn't have these problems because everybody would abide by their rules. They would abide by laws. There wouldn't be things like this in a contract. They understood because generally they were able to go out here and just like I gave you that derivative example, they would have already bought the materials when they got the derivative from the contract that the person signed. And so they would have went and got the materials and everything they needed to build. So they're all happy. Well, what's happening right now is these guys are getting greedy. They already probably did the same thing before because I'm going to tell you right now in the DR, here's the thing. If everybody notices, it's generally they're using the same materials at several different projects. So when you start looking at the counters and they have that grayish, brownish color, and that's what happened when I was there almost 2 years ago when I was sitting there and saying, hey, I saw this at like White, I think it was White Stone or wherever it was called, White something. I can't remember the name of it. Then I'm at the beach and I'm like, wait a minute, are you related with these other guys? Because this is the same cabinets, same colors. They're like, oh, yeah, we're like sister something. I was like, okay. Then I go over to check other properties and they have the same. I was like, okay, this is getting kind of crazy. But if they all have the same, that means they bought the material way back when. But now, 2 years later, they're saying, oh, yeah, we need an extra 10%. Well, at least it's better than this crazy stuff going on here in America where they're just blatantly just reselling your thing for the actual value. Because this is what this would be like in the DR where if you bought something for, let's say, $150,000 and now they're selling it in the project now for $220,000. You're thinking, man, $70,000 equity, that's cool. It's not even finished yet. That'd be the same thing. You finish paying, it's worth $300,000. Next thing you know, they go, oh, we're canceling your contract. You'd be like, excuse me, what? Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. That's not happening. They're not doing crazy, except at Christopher they did. But all the other contracts so far seem to have a percentage. Up to 10% is in the contracts most often. Christopher doesn't, apparently. I don't know about their new contracts, but the older ones where people already signed in a year, 2 years back, 3 years back, theirs is open, which makes it scary. So That's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, Mr. Financial, this is why we cannot get ahead. Do you get to recoup your down payment? Yes, they're gladly giving the down payment back, no problem. And they're giving the $500 to $1,000. But like I was saying, the home is $292,000. Their pre-construction price is. The seller is canceling it, then putting it back on the market for $550,000. Yeah. So he's taking the equity that they've earned, and it's in the contract. Is that just wild? This is just outrageous. In fact, here, let me see if I can go back. Let me see if I can go back. In fact, I'll go to a different one, because now I'm going to go to Colina. See, this isn't just one thing. This isn't several. This is a thing now, is what I'm saying. So again, the middle class who bought a nice $300,000 house a year and a half, 2 years ago, they would have had $200,000-$300,000 worth of equity. Now they're getting the rug pulled out from underneath them. This is what we're talking about. Home builders rip up contracts, then relist homes for thousands more. This is in Houston. Colina Homes canceled. 243, 17,000 increase. 2-bedroom. That's a condo. But this is what's going on here. This is just minor for these guys. That's not a lot. They wanted to add 9,000 to the cost of the, she said. It looks like a condo, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. That's not much. But you guys, if you woke up and found out you had $250,000, $300,000 worth of equity in a year and a half, you would be thinking, man, let me just go over to the thing and make sure they're making this right for me. And then you find out your bathroom is only 2 feet wide. And then you go talk to them and be like, hey, man, what's going on? And then they're like, oh, we're canceling your stuff. And then months later, you find out they sold it for $300,000 more to somebody else. That's insane right there. That's insane. There's another property, which I wish I could bring up, where the guy had a custom home with 1 acre. And I believe they were going to buy it for around 4. And it actually resold at 800. Crazy stuff going on. So they're no longer taking the risk. You're taking the risk. Exactly. So the wealthy play both sides, or 3 sides of the coin. That's right. They own the business, the land, the contract. They pretend to be buyer and seller. How? Exactly. So here's the thing. People are losing. Well, not losing, but when they get a lawyer, they're thinking I'm screwed. But then the lawyers point out, you signed this contract. It allows them back out. Most people aren't thinking. They're excited when they get their plans. They think they get to set up their custom home, and they're sitting there like, bypass that. They're like, oh, these guys aren't going to cancel. No biggie. I put down my money. I paid on time. Everything's good. I'm not worried about that. I'm pre-approved. We're all good. So they are all good, because the bank would have given them that $260,000 or $250,000 loan when the house is worth $500. No problems. Except, like Mr. Financial just said, the wealthy are playing both sides. No risk. They said, we're just going to eliminate our risk. Yep. Curtis Davis. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the sports tracker. You guys heard it here first, back in the, you've heard it on other sports channels, but here on YouTube, when we were doing a live stream, you guys heard it where I announced GSW in 6. It was looking sketchy there when they lost the first one at the home court. And then they weren't playing on all cylinders the whole time. But game 6, you didn't have game 6 Clay, but you still had 3 guys playing on all cylinders. And that's all you needed. And they never even had 3 guys playing on all cylinders. So, but they had 3 playing on a decent enough, so they took them out. But again, Boston had a hell of a defense, so I was a little worried. They were sized right, but they got deficiencies. And there's the deficiency is Steph Curry isn't playing on their team. That's the deficiency. Curtis Davis, the Bills are creating fake and manipulation of home prices. Now we know why all prices are inflated, not a little. There you go. That's part of the equation. That's part of the equation right there. Keep in mind, he just said it exactly right. Think of this, ladies and gentlemen. So when the people sign their home, I'll just use 300,000 in 2020. A year and a half later, that house is worth 500,000. So here's what happened. They would have been purchasing the price on the books at 300. So when 300 would have came up in 20, when they would have closed this year, it would have said this house sold for 300. So now when the house sells for 500, that creates an imbalance because now the people paying are not paying 2020 prices. They're paying these prices. And that means everybody's paying these prices. They're canceling everybody. So now they sell 10 homes for 500. Now home prices are 500 across the board. And so now everybody has to pay more. You see, there's manipulation. Like he said, it's pretty plain and simple. You guys didn't understand how our price increasing 20% year over year. Oh, might start having a clue now. That's one way it's done. Then you have another way when you have Zillow, Open Door, and other hedge funds and all that paying more for properties straight out the box because they don't want you to have it. Wiping out the middle class. It's become a thing. It's like their little inside joke. That's what's so crazy about this. They're going, I know what we're going to do. Again, you guys know what Zillow did because you're part of the SSN Nation. You might live stream. But here, Zillow, the same tactics, different way. They just said, okay, the home in this neighborhood, it costs 300,000. We're going to buy 3 of them for 300,000. But in reality, we're going to buy 10 of them for 300,000. Then because we're Zillow, we're going to overpay for 2 more homes, but we're going to pay 500. You guys been out there, you real estate people have been out there trying to buy a house. All of a sudden people are overpaying like $100,000, $150,000 and you're going, what the hell's going on? Guess what? Welcome to what they're doing. The Zillows, they're out here buying the house for 500. And you guys are going, why would they do that? Well, see, they bought 2 or 3, overpaid intentionally for 500. Guess what? The other 10, that just raised the price for the previous 10 to 500. $200,000 equity on 10 is $2 million, free and clear by manipulation. You understand? That's how they do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they were doing. Zillow, they couldn't sustain that because that takes lots of money to keep doing that when prices are going up. So now in that same neighborhood, jack prices to 500, they move to the next. Now they have to get homes that are now another $100,000 more because homes have increased in value everywhere. But now they can't sell it for an extra 200,000, 300,000. They can't buy. So eventually they tapped out at the top. You can't keep doing it everywhere every time. So then they finally gave up that, okay, we're out of this. We can't do this no more. But in the meantime, they increased the value of everybody's house in that zip code, or not zip code, but within a quarter mile of each other. Then as soon as you do a quarter mile, then it expands to half a mile because some people bought on the edge of the quarter mile. Next thing you know, it's a mile. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, the whole neighborhood costs 200, 300,000 more. And guess what? They wrangled you in because you're in the middle class. And now you're going to, every time I make an offer, it gets declined and I'm giving them what they want. The guy said 550,000. I offered 550,000. Next thing you know, here you go. You're like, okay, I'm tired of We went to 5 properties. I love the losing. This guy wants 550. Okay, I'm offering 575 now. I'm offering 600,000 now. I'm just going to overpay because otherwise I'm not going to get it. So now you're in the hype machine. They got you all rolled up, confused. You're going to be a willing participant to overpay. Now, Vanessa Comagate's not here tonight. This is what she was running into last year when she was going out to get multifamily properties. The smartest thing that she did was say, you know what, I'm not participating. You guys can buy that property and make it overpriced. I'm going to sit back because traditionally real estate goes up and then there's a crash. And the way it went up, it was artificial. It was a manipulation. So there's going to be a crash. And guess what? You'll be able to pick these up. And again, I'm predicting 50 to 60% off what prices were 6 months ago because prices have started to drop already. That's the dirty little secret. All right. But a lot of people haven't gotten the memo yet. Okay. Just keep that in mind. But you're here in the SSN Nation. You got the memo. So just be patient. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. So we'll get into this again. I'll go again because he says it. The builders are creating fake and manipulation of home prices now. We know why all prices are inflated, not a little. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Did you know this called usury? Yes, not done in Jewish community or most countries, only in America. There you go. Do they take a home or car, somebody pays it half off, then gets resold for full price to another person? Exactly. Exactly. And they took down my video that I actually used from Frontline. That's how the credit card companies work. They took it down. And I was like, what the hell? I don't care about the copyright. They were like, oh, no. You had a preview in front. No. You had a preview in front. You were talking. You just didn't play the video. You had some commentary. I'm like, yeah, exactly. What the hell? We got to let people know what's going on, the real deal. They're like, oh, no. We're canceling that video on your channel. You can go to Frontline and see it, but they wouldn't let me replay it. Did you know this called usury? Yes, we know all about it. Now others do. Lots of love. Most of the time I roll through new build neighborhoods. The builder's buddy lives in 1 or 2 of the homes. It's all fake. There you go. There you go. You got a new home. They hold property until bank says we need a payment. Exactly. Curtis Davis showing some other games that they play. That's it exactly. The games that they play. You guys didn't realize this. I know you didn't realize this. This is also in new home developments in America. The same playbook that he's talking about. Buddies living in home 1 or 2. They're sitting there selling you a development. You're sitting there going, oh, this is cool. He's like, yeah, that property was 500. That next house was 550. The next one has to be 600. By the time we get over to house number 7, that's going to be 700 grand. You better put your bids in now. And you see people are already moving in. Oh, man. It gets wild out here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how the middle class is getting wiped out. How can you close the gap? Well, here's the thing. Again, focus on businesses. Focus still on equities. Focus on real estate. Top dogs. All right. You have to be patient in this environment. You can't just snap off and say, you know what, I'm putting all my duffel bag of cash into one thing. You're going to have to spread it around. Victor Morero posted up some ETFs that are still in the red that you're going to have to scroll back up in the chat room, go check it out, because that's very helpful. Stabilization, you need a floor, so that helps out. All right. Here we go. So that's the home, and that's how they're wiping out the middle class, and you participating willingly, just like when everybody was willingly going out of here to who were buying used cars for more than what new car prices are. That's incredible, right? They raised the price of new cars because, COVID, lockdown, chips, whatever. And then they say, well, we can't sell new cars because, we're having chip problems and we can't make the manufacturing. We got to shut down plants. So what are we going to do? We're going to make it seem like used cars are much more valuable. So now cars that shouldn't even be selling for 10 grand are selling for 40 grand. Cars that shouldn't be selling, used cars shouldn't be selling for 25 grand. They're 50 grand. This is out of control. But you guys participated. Remember, wiping out the middle class needs your participation. You have to believe that prices are going up. And then not only believe, then you have to figure out a way to pay for it and lock in a loan. Now you're locked in. All right. So now how can the middle class get wiped out further? Jerome Powell just raised the interest rate. You guys know credit card companies are sending you stuff in the mail right now talking about you need to sign this new terms of agreement because the interest rate that used to be whatever it was, they added another 1% or 1.2% on it. That's what's going to happen. When he comes out another 3 months from now, you're going to have a problem because they're going to raise your interest rate again. Prime plus one is a lot of places for credit cards. You're getting those notices, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you are. All right. So just think about that. So you're in the middle class. You are using credit because you're trying to make ends meet. Next thing you know, they go, oh, your interest rate's not 8.9% anymore. It's 10, 10.2. And you're like, what? And that means you owe more money long term. So again, that's what's going on. That's how the middle class gets wiped out. You got to close the wealth gap, and it's going to have to be by any means necessary. So when somebody offers you free shares of stock, you get it. When somebody offers you a way to get mining for Bitcoin that doesn't cost you anything, you get it. You use the links down below in the description. When somebody says, hey, start a business, and you say, okay, I don't know what to do. And then somebody says, check this out. We have SSN stuff over here. So actually, in essence, it's starting a business because you actually could use an EIN number to be a member. So you could be saying, I'm starting a business. Be a part of that group where you can refer people to become a member. You can refer people to Ring of Fire, which is like our Shark Tank. You can refer people to products and services on the site as well. So therefore, you have an ecosystem that you can make extra streams of revenue from. That's what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. You want to start your business. Like I said, I dropped a video earlier today, Airbnb experiences. We've been talking about that for 3 months. That's a good option for a lot of people. You're doing something on Friday nights or Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, whatever that activity is, and you do it all the time, you might as well just put on Airbnb experiences. Speaking of Airbnb experiences and Airbnb, now you guys know over the last 12 years, Airbnb has been lucrative. There have been people that have come out here. The wealth gap was closing because people were making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars over the course of a year or years because they understood that they could get property rented out in high density locations, like in the ATL, for instance. A lot of people are coming here because ATL is growing and they're coming here for business. A lot of people are coming here for the activities that have been here in the ATL. So the Airbnb market has boomed in the ATL area. And that means residential. That also means middle class people are being able to get in an extra $4,000, $3,000 a month. Because all you had to do was rent. In some cases, they were able to make agreements with the people that own the property and say, and they would say, yes, you can do it. They wouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket. So all this happened. So you know what generally just happened? I don't even have this queued up. Airbnb, the city of Atlanta has changed the rules, ladies and gentlemen. 2 properties, that's all you can have. You have to sign up and pay 8% tax and more. Wiping out the middle class. This time, but they're cutting the legs from underneath you. The extra streams of revenue that people had, you had endless amount. So it was basically an open capitalist environment. Whoever can get a deal, you can have a second home in your backyard. You can have a tent in your backyard. Whatever deal you make, as long as you control the property, whether you sign a contract with an owner, whether you own the property yourself, it did not matter. You were able to sit there and say, wow, man, I can make, an extra $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year from each of these properties, and I can go get 4 or 5 of these. So I can make $300,000 a year. That is what's happening, right? And what goes down again? Here it is. I'm going to pull this up. I don't have it queued, but we're going to pull this up. Because I saw some. I'm just putting in like 2 properties, doing something like that. So here we go. Here we go. This is 11 Alive. Gave a little love. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to pull this up, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see for yourself. This has been going on under the radar. All right. This is the thing that I was telling you guys last year, because a lot of 2 years ago, I told you what Whistler, Canada did. And Whistler, Canada, let me tell you, you have a 2-bedroom. I don't know how they charge now, but a 2-bedroom condo. We were getting, I can't remember. Well, I can remember the West End because it was off the charts, but I can't remember my 2-bedroom there. But anyhow, the 2-bedroom was probably in wintertime because that's high season. Whistler's known for skiing. It was like $3,400, $3,500, something like that per week. So roughly $500 per night. So basically, for every unit you had, for what I do, that represents about a $2,500 per week profit during ski season. So we're talking like December through April. So you have like a 4-month type window. That's high season, and that's when people play. And it helps when you're by the ski lifts, right? So like the Westin is by the ski lift. And I had another one too. Can't remember the name of it. But anyhow, some of these we could get up to $4,500. The Westin, you can get $4,500 for like a studio side. I had a 2-bedroom lockup. They woke up one day, and it's been probably 4 years. They woke up. Whistler says no more Airbnbs. Shut down. Hotels were losing money there. Hotels are pricey. Who wants to stay at the hotel when the hotel's going at $700 a night? That's crazy. $899 a night. And then they're sitting there going, well, wait a minute. I could have a 2-bedroom over here for $500 a night. Why am I going to stay at the hotel? But anyhow, let me see what they have here. So here, residents of Atlanta now have to pay $150 annually for a permit and pay an 8% tax on top. Can you believe this? This is crazy. Crazy. And you can only have 2 properties, which they don't have in here. That's it. You can't have more than 2. So now if you're doing, well, you won't be able to do Airbnb or VRBO because they're going to be locked in. They're going to probably either collect the 8% or they're going to need your permit. And as soon as they see 2 permits, they're going to block you anyhow. They're not going to allow you to, even if you had some other way to do it, they're going to go, well, you got your 2 permits. So they're going to block you. So you can only have 2 properties. And that means $300 a year annually. Plus you're going to have to pay 8% for each property. And you're in the system. See here? Let me see. Let me make sure you guys are seeing what's on the screen. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let's see. Are you guys, we're not, oh, we're on the screen. Okay. Check this out. Atlanta collectively earned nearly $139 million in 2021, ladies and gentlemen, with hosting service income of 9,500 hosts. 139 million just got sucked out of the OCs. That's us, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're new here, ordinary citizens. That means you, the middle class, getting sucked out. They're going, no, 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 we can't have that. 54% of short-term rental owners in Atlanta have more than 2 listings, putting them in violation under the new rules. That's 54. That's just round down. 50%. 4,500 of these hosts are now can only have 2 properties. 2 properties means the difference between making 300,000 and 5 or 600,000 if somebody had 8 properties or something. This is what we're talking about. How do you wipe out the middle class? You start cutting off their legs where they make extra streams of revenue. And who's going to benefit from this? The people that own hotels, the people that own hospitality locations licensed under a hotel. So all these people that came in to give 139 million, let's just say if this is cut in half, that means now hotels are going to get this $70 million, let's say, theoretically, right? If all things were equal, but that's 70 million. See how we're getting wiped out, ladies and gentlemen? All right. So it's not a mirage. It's not a mirage. It's been happening the whole time, except in this era, we have the internet. We have established businesses that are out there so you can track it. So then you're sitting there going, hey, we're going to do this with Airbnb. We're going to do this with VRBO. So those are the things you have to worry about. And it's coming crashing down. Reduce revenues. Prices going up, reduce revenues. A recipe for the middle class getting wiped out. Now, how do you close the wealth gap? Well, fortunately, in the Airbnb case, even if you want to stay in the ATL, okay, you're going to have to pay $300 and you're going to have to pay the 8%. You're still going to make money, but you have to give up 8%. Now, if you're going to be on Airbnb, that's the ultimate question because Airbnb charges 3%. So that means you're going to be giving up 11%. So if a person makes $60,000 a year, now you're going to make around 50, 53, 54, somewhere like that. I think most people may, well, okay, hold on, I'll back up because it goes like this. Let's just say the person had 4 properties and they were making $60,000 a year. Now they can only have 2. Is it going to be worth them if those 2 make $35,000? That's still $3,000 a month almost. Will it be worth it for them to have 2 and then give up 11%? So that's $2,500, let's say. So that wouldn't be bad. $2,500 a month is still extra streams of revenue. But what that has done potentially is that 139 million, ladies and gentlemen. There's some people that were making $1 million a year from this. And they might have had 10 properties, 12 properties, 15 properties. All right. So this is significant. People are going to be like wiped out. There's people that was running this as a business from their home so they can be with their family. And now all of a sudden they're going, you can only have 2 properties. Now they're scrounging around going, okay, calling up cousins, friends, whoever, you got to get these 2 properties. We have 8. So I need 4 people who can put their name down and sign these licenses. I'll pay for it. You're going to have to do these maneuvers that are unnecessary. So that just tells you right there, we don't live in a capitalist society, right? You guys understand this, right? Sooner or later, you're going to wake up and understand we don't live in a capitalist society because if we did, this wouldn't be a thing. This wouldn't be happening. The builders wouldn't be doing what they're able to do with these bogus contracts. Well, okay, they're legitimate contracts because it's allowed. Legally, it's allowed. It's not like it's unlawful. It's allowed. Those contracts that saying we can terminate the developers, those are allowed. Those aren't illegal. So they're legit. The people aren't going to win. They're going to get their money back and that little 500 or 1,000 and walk off. You go to law or go to court, you're going to lose. So there's nothing more you can do. But the thing is, they built it so you lose. So a lot of people may, right about now, minorities already understood systemic racism. That's easy. But how many people understood systemic financial threat? It's systemic, ladies and gentlemen. You're not immune based on colors. You're getting screwed just like everybody else. So just letting you know, you believe one thing, But behind your back, other stuff is going on, and some of you may survive, but a lot of people are getting wiped out. And by them doing what they're doing here with Airbnb, what's next? What's next? They've already done what's next. $600 every transaction you do. They're trying to get know who it is so they can take money out of your pocket. $600 is middle class or lower income class. Why aren't they doing this for every time somebody buys a jet, somebody buys a yacht? Why aren't they taxing people that are spending 10 million, 5 million, 8 million, instead of allowing them to sit there and go, well, yeah, they're going to pay the sales tax. Okay, great. That's to the state. But what about this? Why aren't you tracking every activity that happens when somebody's spending all this money for this high-end stuff and taxing them and making the business track that too, just like you're doing it for all the businesses so they can track the $600 and up payment? You know why? It's the process of wiping out the middle class. How much more do you guys got to go with this? I don't want to keep going, but that's the thing. That's the thing right there. Okay. Let's go. That's the usury laws. Yeeks. Lots of love. Most of the time I roll through new neighborhoods. It's all fake. That's right. Your friends are next door living in there. The house of cards or dominoes will fall soon. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to fall. The consumer must take emotion out of purchasing cars and homes. You must think strategic. Wait them out. You don't need a car or new home in a depression. Exactly. That's exactly it. And unfortunately, in America, we're a consumer nation, and you're being marketed to it from the time you're 1 year old. You know, you want to have the bigger, the better, the best fit in with the crowd that's going to be the cool crowd, or fit in with the crowd that's going to wear or look like you, do whatever. Next thing you know, stuff that's made for $3, $4 in China, they're selling it to you for $150, $200. Stuff that costs $13, you're willing to spend $200 for. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy. You're getting taken advantage of. Brex, the Silicon Valley wonder, has started closing business account or loans. Yep. Exactly. Thank you for mentioning that as well. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we discussed this like 2-3 years ago. I told you it was going to happen. And notice now, you guys know, you were pretty smart. We used to talk about credit all the time up until about a year ago. All right. After the credit bureaus did in the My Jewelers, the Hutton Chase, all them guys, Ox Publishing, they did them in. They said, oh, no, we're not going to allow you guys to do this no more. So we're not going to report no more. Right when that happened, we were talking about it already, that the credit bureaus were trying to do something, especially with the FICO 10 and all that stuff coming out 2 years ago. Now, look where we're at. We told you when things go bad, they're going to start closing accounts, reducing your interest, credit lines, your lines of credit. They're going to start doing all kind of funky stuff.
More than 4,000 Airbnbs and short-term rentals
in the background. Oh, that's the ATL.
Because of a.
But remember, we talked about this. This is no surprise here for the SSN Nation members. This is once again why you need to smash the like button. That's why you need. That's why you need to share the videos, because they don't want you to know this information before they pull the rug on you. And here in the SSN Nation, we're one of the few places where they, I tell you like it is. We can almost predict some bad stuff that's going to happen. In fact, I think we predicted all the bad stuff that's going to happen. There hasn't been anything yet. Just like we're saying right now, real estate market's going to go down. We know this. All right. So if you're thinking about buying some real estate right now, you got two ways you can go. One is you better lock in that 6.1 or 5.9 interest rate. That's all I got to say, if you can afford it, because shortly, in a matter of 60 days or less, it's going to go another full point higher. And that means you're going to be paying like an extra $100 per month just on interest. So just keep that in mind. Yep, no surprise there. I keep hearing it's smart to rent when moving to ATL, but rent's $2,500. Exactly. They're building all these luxury apartments. Luxury apartments here are $2,500. It's insane. It's insane what's happening. And we're not talking about 2 or 3. We're not even talking about 3-bedroom, 2,500 square foot like apartments. We're talking 1,100, 1,200 square feet apartments called luxury apartments in a place, Decatur, Georgia. Insanity. I saw the rebuilding Decatur, Georgia, $2,400 for luxury apartments that used to be in a place where apartments were $800 to $1,100 a month. And because they put luxury and because they added tropical smoothie, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and some restaurants, and they built up some other infrastructure, all of a sudden this stuff is worth double in rents, and they're probably still rising. It's insanity. That's how you also get wiped out, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to pay a higher price. So you can't save money. You don't have disposable income to invest anything. And that's why you're getting wiped out. And you got to close that wealth gap. The only way you can close the wealth gap right now is you're going to have to take risk, which is what they want you to do. They want you to give your money to a bank that they use. They want you to either give it to a hedge fund, put it in a 401k that you don't control. They're going to try to take all of it. They're doing a hell of a job because right now there's a lot of people, after crypto drops, they're trying to get their money out of there. Celsius Network, thank you very much for jacking people. Apparently they're not liquid enough, so they had to pause withdrawals. Again, Celsius Network, if you're a person and trying to withdraw and you don't understand what's happening, you might have gotten a notice that you can't withdraw. Liquidity issues. Again, how do you wipe out the middle class? You tell places like Celsius Network, Coinbase, Nexo, if you want to deal with the American public, Binance, US, you want to deal with the American public, hey, you're going to have to be regulated. You're going to have to come in and sign up for all this stuff. What happens when now they're not liquid? And I'm only talking about Celsius is not liquid. Everybody else is still fine. But what I'm trying to point out is you can't withdraw your money. And if the regulators come calling, your stuff's going to be frozen. All I'm saying, how do you wipe out the middle class? You raise prices, and when somebody needs their money, you make sure they don't get it. All right? Keep all that in your head, ladies and gentlemen. All right? We believed in Celsius. I believed in Celsius. I believed in Alex Machinsky and all these guys talking about, we're not like everybody else. We're not like the banks. We're not like this. We're doing everything the right way. Your money will always be safe. You'll always be able to withdraw. Okay. Fast forward, you want to be big time. So now you leverage and get a loan, or you stake, and now you can't touch that staked money. Now all of a sudden you're acting just like a bank. People trying to withdraw, you're saying no. When you're going to open up the withdrawals, you're going to do what everybody else does. You're going to put limits. So, because otherwise there's going to be a bank run. Simple as that. People aren't going to leave their crypto on your platform. Once again, with crypto, what do you say, Professor Auntie Val? Not your keys, not your crypto. There you go. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And Binance got hemmed up as well. So what's going to happen with Binance? Come on. Crypto price is going to come down. Then they're going to do some regulatory stuff. They're going to mess around. Now people are scared, blood in the streets. Like Mr. Gary White said, because of these maneuvers. I just came out of a meeting with a lady from Canada. She said gas, $10 a gallon. Prices, inflation out of control, but they have cheap health care. Hey, that's something. That's something, because in America, healthcare is not cheap. That's for sure. All right, how could I forget? It's Friday night. We've been talking about doom and gloom a little bit. We got to throw down a little bit of party, raise the roof. Let me see. We got to throw in a little promo so these ATL properties aren't zoned for short term. How the hell are they able to do that? Exactly. They're lucky they don't have to pay tourist taxes once a year like we have to here in Orlando. I didn't know about that tourist tax. But it's once a year. Or is the tourist tax like, how much is it? I don't even know, because these guys are paying 8% for I'm assuming every transaction. That's a lot when you start adding it up. But I don't know. What's the tourist tax? I didn't realize you were paying that. So they're doing like Nevada does when people, the occupancy tax. And so people are wondering how come in Vegas, all of a sudden they started having these fees, $10, $20, $30. Well, you know, when they built that new arena, they're not getting it from the people. They're getting it from you when you go visit Vegas, and they're taking it off the hotels. So that's what generally is happening, a large portion of it. Hector Martinez, in your opinion, should I hold off buying that Panorama luxury property in the DR? Hey, man, I can't even, I don't have an opinion on this. I've been thinking about this myself, because by rights, things could happen that are going to be very interesting. This could be 2008, 2009 all over again, where property values, even for pre-construction, once it's built, they could go down. But how would it go down if there's nothing available? That's the question. See, it won't go down if there's something available, but then that would be going against the grain. And it's kind of scary because we have a situation when I was there in 2020 where a lady, again, I'll say this for everybody new, she bought a condo for $264,000 across the street from the beach. The only thing the condo had, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was probably 1,400 square feet, nice size, nice little deck. Walk out on the deck and see the beach from there. They only had a little pool there. The pool was no more than 20, maybe 20 by 15. But the complex itself, there was probably 12 units to 16 units. So it wasn't big or anything, but it was nice. I mean, no fitness center. They had security, but that's it. 264. So when I'm there in 2020, I said, hey, how much? Well, I had to call. How much is it? Or tell her, hey, how much is it selling for? Because I saw the for sale sign outside. She goes, 264. I said, wait, you can buy a 2-bedroom back over here, El Dorado, for like 88, 90,000. She goes, I know. She goes, I bought right before the crash in 2008, 2009, when everything went up. I said, so this whole time, your property's not worth 264. She goes, I know. She goes, I'm just going to hold out till the person pays me what I want. And here's the other side of this, Hector Martinez. And by the way, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night live stream. And the thing is this. She bought the property, but she only rented on Airbnb. So she said she lived in it at first. And then Airbnb, as you guys know, didn't come out till like 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. So she was screwed. She was pissed, of course. She owned the property for 264, and everybody around her is selling these same 2-bedroom units. They're not across the street from the beach, but they're only like a 3-minute walk back, 300 yards away. So they're in the same neighborhood. So somebody's selling a 2-bedroom for 70 grand, 60 grand. They're like, they're not going to pay 264. So she gets the bailout. What I mean by that is Airbnb comes out around 2012, 2013. From that point, she goes, oh, I rented it out. So at this point, I don't really care because I have money coming in every month. So I can sit here and wait for the 264. Well, apparently she got the 264. Why did she get the 264? Because there's projects 2 doors down, less than, it was one city block. So 60 feet away, next block, next lot over, they're building some new condos across the street from the beach. Those condos are like 200 and something, like 275, 300, something like that. Now all of a sudden somebody buys hers for 264, but she had to wait 2007 to 2021. So that's what's probably going to happen again, Hector Martinez, I think. I don't know. I go by historical situations. But now when you say what's in my opinion about holding off or not, therein lies the problem. It depends on the price that you paid. Let's put things in perspective. So Panorama Luxury. I don't know. You're talking about number 2, right? So Panorama Luxury, I'm trying to think. A studio What's the prices? Do you know? Because I don't know the prices for the next panorama. Let's just say it's 80,000 for the studio. Let's say the 1 bedroom is going to be something crazy like 140. Let's say the 2 bedroom now is going to be like 199 or 200. So again, I'll say this. If you can buy property there under 250 and under, if you can get it in that range, then I think you're going to be fine, because you're not going to care. If you live in it, you're not going to care what the value is. And if you're using it as a rental, you're not going to care what the value is. So either way, you win, because you want to be there. So it doesn't matter if your property is worth $1 or $1 million, you're not moving. But if you rent it out, you're going to have revenue coming in all the time. And as you know, over the course of time, you can always raise your rent. And you also know the value of your property is always going to raise up. So even if properties went down 50% and they started building some new ones, which I don't see how this can occur because we have inflation, but let's just say for everything equal, properties go down, right? You buy a property, 200,000, panorama, 2 bedroom, luxury. Next thing you know, a year from now, you're like, the appraised value is like 130, 100,000. You're like, damn, I lost all this equity. But does it really matter if you're not selling? No. But if you're getting $450 per night, $300 per night, $6,000 a month, it's going to be worth it then, right? So you'd be at around $70,000 a year. And if you paid $200,000, that's not bad. 30% on your money. So what's going to happen is the rental rate should increase, especially if we're talking about Vista Cana and Panorama Luxuries on the water. So anyhow, I'm just giving you my overall take on this. That's where I'm thinking. I go by historical record. For real estate, you can go by historical record. If there's going to be a decrease in prices for real estate, that's one thing. But Punta Cana is a high demand area. If the world's going in a recession, but there's one thing, Punta Cana area and some places in Dominican Republic, that's where the top 10 percenters play. So you're not going to have a huge downturn in tourism visits to the Punta Cana area, because they already they could possibly get 6 million this year. Unbelievable. Now, they still may get 6 million every year in Punta Cana area. So just think about it. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I actually 6 million in the DR, and I'm actually over. So they're going to get around 4.5 million is what I'm saying in Punta Cana. They'll have around 6 million to 6.5 potentially in all of DR. But the majority, the bulk of tourists go through Punta Cana in that region. So I think you'll always have a way to make money. That's the thing. As long as you're not doing something crazy, like what I mean by crazy, 400,000, 300, like that, 350, because I think the more you spend, the higher the risk. Just like that lady bought hers for 264 and then turns around that they're building 2 bedroom condos, 300 yards, not by the beach, but they're under 100 grand. That's a big difference. And so that situation could occur again when prices drop. All of a sudden, nobody's building. And then all of a sudden, materials get cheaper. And then you have that up cycle where people all of a sudden start building cheaper properties, selling them cheaper, and then people are buying them. And they get the same rental price as you do, by the way. So that's why she's doing 264. The first nights, I stayed at El Dorado, 1 bedroom. The lady at El Dorado, get this, even though that place 1 bedroom was probably $60K or $50K, it was $20 a night. That was it. That's crazy. Before COVID. So, but the lady across the street from the beach, she wanted $150 a night originally. And so I always, when I go on a trip, I always book in 3 nights. If I don't know the place that well, I go 3 nights, because then I want to have the option to switch. I don't want to lock in like 7 nights and all that crazy. I go, okay, because I can move around. I'll stay here 3 nights. we'll get the lay of the land and see where I really want to stay at. It was fine. But then the lady sends me a message going, hey, I have these 3 nights left because I know you said you're going to be here like 10 days or something. She goes, but I just have these opened up and I'll give them to you for like $40 or $50 a night. I was just like, I'll take it. I know where it is. I actually went walking by there to the beach, and now we're across the street from the beach. I'm like, I'm good. Cool. Sign me up. But those are the kind of things. She's still making money. So just keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 50 minutes. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, once again, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell, and share the videos with everybody because you never know what they will learn. All right. Hold on. I missed something here. Auntie Val took my last coins off Celsius last month only because rewards were too low for what I had there. Dodged the bullet. Exactly, Auntie Val. I as well, but I think I not all of it. I think I left a little bit there, but that's fine. It was a little bit, so I'm not tripping. So that's the only reason I'm not tripping. But I did the same thing because they did start reducing theirs. Victor Morel says the tourist tax is a very small amount once a year, only if the property goes over a certain threshold value. What do you mean by that exactly? Are you referring to only if it goes over a certain threshold value as far as the revenue? Or are you talking about threshold value as far as the actual appraised value or the assessor's value? Let me know which one that is. I didn't even know that. Well, I don't have any properties that would qualify, I'm pretty sure, because my tax stuff is paid differently. A3 Saval, for the ATL short-term rental, can't you just make different LLCs and just have 2 Airbnb for each LLC? Seems like a loophole. Hey, A3 Saval, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to end up happening. They're just making people have to jump through more hoops, which now means more paperwork, which now means, it is what it is, right? That's exactly, it's pointless in reality. But the point they're trying to do is 139 million. If you can reduce that 54% of hosts or 9,500 hosts roughly, or 9,600 hosts, and you change that into 4,500 hosts or 4,000 hosts or 3,000 hosts, that means part of that $139 million is going to go stay to hotels. You see, that's what they're basically trying to do, because you can actually get more money from a hotel occupancy because the guest that arrive here is willing to pay it. They like the 8% that they just started charging you, but they'd rather have people spending money downtown or spending money in the areas that they want people to spend money in. So just keep that in mind. That's how it works. But you're right. It seems like a loophole to me, and I'm pretty sure some people are going to be doing that. Very good, A3 Saval, because basically, how can you close the wealth gap? You're going to have to do this exactly right here. You're going to have to think outside the box. A lot of people are not going to be thinking, I'll just go get 2 LLCs and call it a day. They're not thinking like that. But I bet you they've thought about it too. Trust me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second. They thought about it, and I know what's going to happen. They're going to be looking at who the owners are, and I bet you they're going to run a cross check. So they're not. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do. But nonetheless, I would try it before giving up. That's for sure. LLCs in the state of Georgia are what, 135, something like that. I mean, he might have raised it. I don't know. 150. Let's see. All right. Only have USDC on the exchange for trading. Every profit I keep, half for trading, and send the rest to cash. Everything else in cold storage. There we go. Professor Auntie Val giving the crypto playbook. I love it. All right. Got to get myself a little bit of water, and then we'll continue this conversation, because this is how the middle class is getting wiped out, ladies and gentlemen. They're taking away these advantages. Next up, they're going to start messing with Amazon or something, and eBay. They already did, but they're going to mess with those even more, because they got to restrict, because you're competing with the big boys now on all fronts. Think about it. We're talking about Airbnb. The hotels, they were in their own little world until Airbnb showed up, and VRBO and Vacata and all the rest. They were in their own little bubble. They were able to charge you whatever they wanted. No worries. You are coming in for that convention. We're charging you. All of a sudden, these Airbnbs go, yeah, you guys want to charge $200 a night? We're charging $75 a night because we just bought property over here for $100,000, $150,000. We can charge that. All of a sudden, it changed the paradigm shift, put a change into things. And so there you go. So now, 10 years later, they said, we've had enough. You know how much money these guys are making? Oh, I almost got me into a story. I'm not going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It involves federal rallies. All right. I almost got into it. I won't get into it. But all I'm trying to say is, okay, I'll get into it a little bit. Number one, the police, federal agencies, when they come in and they sit there and talk to you, and their words are, do you know how much money you make? Do you know how much money you make? That's their words. You know you got problems. All right. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. So they know how much you're making because they already grabbed up Airbnb. Airbnb gladly gave them the information. You guys know the story about Hawaii. Hawaii sends me a tax bill from 2017, 2018, 2016 because Airbnb gave them the top 1,000 sellers in the Hawaiian market. Meanwhile, the other people who aren't the top 1,000 sellers, they got a free pass, don't have to pay taxes. I was just like, is this for real? Still have a problem with that. So out of the blue, this is 3 years later. This ain't like it was a thing. They didn't even have it in effect. But all of a sudden they go, oh, hey, they gave us the top sellers for these 3 years. You're one of them. You owe us some ungodly amount of money. I was like, you guys, this is wrong on all fronts. But all I'm trying to illustrate is this is why the middle class is getting wiped out. They're cutting our legs from every extra streams of revenue that is, profitable, huge profits, because they're losing. They want to be able to charge people way too much money for their service. And then we, the OCs, ordinary citizens, are coming in and saying, hold on now, we figured out another way. Or a business has come into play like Airbnb, VRBO. They came in and said, you guys are charging too much. We think people will stay at somebody else's house and they're going to stay for these cheap rates, $30 a night, $50 a night, $40 a night. You guys can charge whatever you want, but so be it. Well, after 10 years, they start running the numbers because more and more people got on the platform. You have 9,500 people in Atlanta with property. That is significant. And $139 million that normally would have went to the hotels, that is significant. They're saying enough's enough. We need that money in our coffers. So we're going to screw over the middle class who's out here, who came up with innovative ways. People came up with YouTube channels, podcasts. People are out here doing what they need to do. Airbnb came up with experiences. So now that changed the whole game there, where now you have people going downtown doing, and they have people coming, and those people are paying $30, $40, but they're going to be on the Airbnb platform. So your place is going to be in Atlanta. Does that mean you're going to have to get a permit too? If you're on Airbnb experiences? Come on. This is getting crazy. You guys, you have to understand. Okay, let's go. Oh, it's Friday night. Hold on. You guys know I haven't even ran one of these yet. Let's see. What are we going to run this time? All right, let's go. I haven't created a new one because I've been working on some other things, but let's go People's Choice.
But it would have been so awesome. I was going to soar right through here like this. And whoops, I'm sorry. Vin Diesel, excuse me. My bad. Big fan though, Mr. Diesel. Excuse me. And then I'm flying, and I'd be flying, and I'd land right. Where do I land?
Oh, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, because it's nothing like having a little fun every now and then, right? And a lot of people never get to experience any of these fun time activities, because a lot of, today it's all about social media and even more than before. So being able to go to like People's Choice Awards or go to Grammys or go to anything, Super Bowl parties and have fun, or any events, all-star games or whatever, it costs a lot of money these days. So that is the thing. There are ways that you can do things, and it depends, of course, on who you know, and you can get into these locations and you don't have to spend the $1,500, the $2,000, the $2,500 or even more just to hobnob, right? So anyhow, that's part of SSN lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to come up, where we're still going to have, like a lot of people like music, right? You like the VMAs in Vegas or something. You want to go, hey, you're going to be able to have these tickets where you're going to win some things. You can go there, have some fun. So that's the other part of SSN lifestyle. So I just had to bring that on for tonight. And again, 2 hours in, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, once again, always click the bell and subscribe. All right, let's go. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I'm back to, okay, USDC. Just surprised they're going after the actual owners for the Airbnb instead of subleasing middleman. A3 Saval, that's not the problem. If you're talking about this stuff that they were that 2 years ago, and I hate to bring these guys up, but Cardone had on these guys that were talking about Airbnb, and they're sitting there going, go out here and get a lease, which is what you're referring to, subleasing. Go get a lease with the management company or the property, and then sublease it on Airbnb. Well, all HOAs and property managers were like, wait, you can't do that. We're restricting that. You can't do that. We're going to revoke your lease. You're against what we're doing here. So that's one of the things that happened, but they didn't tell you about it. But that's what basically happened. And so that subleasing, if you're talking about the subleasing way, that's not really a thing, because they were actually using Airbnb and leasing it from the actual owner or the actual property and subleasing it. They couldn't go after them anyhow. That what they did was they did the same thing that Hawaii did. They just said, okay, who's your host? And that's how they got the numbers. They said we got X amount of hosts in the ATL. We have this amount of revenue. The city starts going, wait a minute, we could have $60-70 million here in the coffers. That's how many people are coming through here. That's all they needed to see, $60-70 million a year. These guys, the governments don't make money, but they damn sure know how to steal it from you. And that 8% tax, you can start doing some math on $100 million. That's up there. 80 million for the city of the ATL. And I don't even know if this is going to affect the suburbs or not, but I don't know. It's going to be very, very wild. That's all I know. Here we go. Yes, Panorama Luxury 2. It's $150K with the swim up, other side of the lake, first floor. I haven't seen this yet. Other side of the lake. Well, wait. What other side? I haven't seen Panorama 2, because I thought it was next door to Panorama 1. So it's not? Interesting. Okay, we're going to have to get that info, aren't we? 150K, Panorama swim up side bed. First, okay, what size unit is it, Hector? What size unit is it? 150K should be a 2-bed. No, probably. Yeah, it should. Well, no, it's probably a 1-bedroom now. How much of the Panorama Luxury going for now? My experience is that DR properties don't depreciate like they do here. If there's a crash, if you want to keep it for a long time, go for it. Exactly. That's what Victor Morel said it more succinctly than me. That's how you should do it, because it's long term. Just like I was illustrating a lady for 264, it was 12, 13 years. So she got her money, but in the meantime, she was still making money, which is what you want. So It'll be very, very interesting what happens. But Panorama Lake, if it's on the water, that's always, those lose less value. Any properties on any water, if they do lose value, they're the ones that lose value the least. So that would be a safe place, safe location. Yes, I think 10% more, okay. But if they add 15%, no way on pre-construction condo. Yeah, exactly. Once you start getting outside of the 10, that changes your loan situations potentially. The projected infrastructure is incredible. I go every year and that place continues to explode. Yes, Victor Marrera, I agree with you. But when economy, you know how economies work. If there's a crash, let's call this the Great Depression, right? 2.0. Worse than the Great Recession, a little bit better than the Great Depression. That puts us in a very bad spot. Now, the fact that it's on another island is a good thing. For Victor Marrera, Auntie Val, you got that right. I pulled all my USDC from Celsius out in time. Good God. I left a small amount of BTC and ETH, but nothing that will keep me up at night. This is truly the Wild West. Exactly. I have stuff similar. I can't remember what I have in there. Doesn't matter. It's just sitting there. Yes, LLC or corporation is a separate person by law. Yes, by law, it's a separate person, but rest assured, they're going to be doing some cross-reference nonsense. Auntie Val, right, Victor, looks like the big boys are attacking each other. I'll just make my trades and sit out a while. More blood coming. I agree with you 100%, Professor Auntie Val. That's what we're talking about, the actual tourist taxes for the inside, believe it or not. What? Basically, the inside of the house, i.e. appliances and furniture, are generating income. Therefore, you need to pay taxes. I know, crazy. Oh, my God. This is what's going on in America, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, this tourist tax, keep in mind, here we go again. Wiping out the middle class. How do you close the gap? Every time you try to close the gap, they say, we're going to do this tax stuff, taking some of your profits away, putting it in government entity pockets, which also ends up being, top 10 percenters. It gets crazy. Victor Marrero says, to Auntie Val, agree on the crypto side, but for stocks, I think this is a great opportunity to build a nice bag. I continue to DCA into it through Fidelity and the bank's 401k. Just my humble opinion. We all agree with it. You can go two ways, DCA or sit back and watch. Either way, I don't see how there's going to be. It was positive apparently today. I haven't even checked. I saw Chili Davis with the video and I saw it green. So that means I'm thinking it was positive today. Why don't we go look? Let's see. Do I have any? I don't have anything plugged up here. Hold on a second. Let me go see what. Oh, I had something else up here, but no. Here's what I do have something else, but you just joined us. Please click the like button down below. Let's see what the stock market is, shall we? Because I don't know what happened today, but like I said, Chili Davis did something. And he posted his video. I saw some greenery, so I'm assuming it was a good day. Let's see. No, not a good day. Stocks log worst week since March 2020. S&P falls. Oh my God. Are you kidding me, ladies and gentlemen? That is significant. That is significant. Oh, wow. My. Wow. Who shorted the stock? Well, it wasn't that bad. They must have had a comeback. The plunge protection show. Didn't drop 500. That's interesting. Or is it after hours? Hold on a second. Let's go see what this is. Nah, it didn't drop 5. Okay, so it's barely a blip today. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. All right, we're good. Because I was getting ready to say, I'm not expecting greenery, but no shocker if it did. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, another playbook. Somebody's doing dollar cost average down. Yes, dollar cost average. Bought more Amazon 105. There you go again, ladies and gentlemen. You could have bought Amazon at 120. And it's already down about 15 to 20% just by being patient after there's 20-1 split. And here we are, 105. It could be 100 if things keep going. It could be 95. So just keep in mind, you don't have to go rushing in. You can relax, take your time, see what unfolds. Professor Auntie Val says, Victor, I agree. My hubby is in charge of the stocks, investing, not my wheelhouse. Exactly. The Dow fell, but NASDAQ, Russell jumped. ChargePoint jumped 12%. Tesla up 1%. Okta up 1%, but it was down 5% on Thursday, up 2% today. Okay. Okay. All right. NASDAQ. Yes. Ends at the actually plunge protection team did not come in apparently at the end because it ends at 1.43 for the NASDAQ, 0.22 for S&P, and negative 0.13. So minimals. No biggie there, ladies and gentlemen. Minimal. Hold on. What's up here? That's not what I want. Okay. Something happened. Oh, I see. Hold on a second. I have something that happened. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I have something to look at. Oh, yeah. The guys, the music. I have a license for the music, but apparently, for some reason, they keep sending me a message, copyright strikes for the music. But I always have to do the license now. Okay. Wait, the market closed Monday, Juneteenth. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, yes, they just did make that a holiday. Thank you for reminding me. All right, well, then on Juneteenth, we'll be back on Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to join us, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday night in the SSN Nation Money Making Monday, because we got to close the wealth gap, right? There's only certain ways you can do it. One way where they can't stop you is you have to take a risk and be in business, have that LLC, have a corporation. You're going to have to be in business. You're going to have to make investments and take risks. That's the only way. Otherwise, we're going to be like in Europe, where the middle class got totally wiped out because they went to 0% or below 0% negative interest rates. So all the corporations, they can borrow off for free money. And so a middle class house that used to be $300,000, like in downtown UK right now, is like $5 million. Nobody lives there. But the corporations bought the homes because they could get the loans. And middle class people had to move outside of the city to the suburbs because they can't afford $5 million, $3 million, $5 million, $7 million for a regular old house. Not even, they weren't built custom design, but they were able to buy up the city. All right. So shout out to everybody in the UK, even though you won't see me. Because we are not in the UK, apparently. Nobody watches. Lots of love. The Dow down 15% year to date. NASDAQ down 35% year to date. There we go. That's exactly what we're talking about. So when you start looking at it, I made a video also why you don't have to buy stocks, by the way. I made a video about that. There's no rush. You might as well just chill on all fronts, real estate, stocks, crypto for sure. Might as well just chill out and see what unfolds. You can come back in. Remember, just what he said, things that went down 35% in NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ rose up an extra 5% to 7-8% and you want to jump in, so that would be a good thing too. But why not see where it goes? Because remember, I did a video last week about this. It was 27% year to date for the NASDAQ. It just dropped in a week, another 8%. So I'm just saying there was no rush to do anything. Why don't you find out where this goes? Because the interest rate now has reached a level where real estate prices are going to come down, which means they can't do derivatives, which means that borrowing situation is going to come to an end. And then once this stuff, the free fall starts, which by the way, let me show you something. There's an article. You guys know how we like to keep up to date sometimes. But the free fall on new homes has already begun. But see, they're not going to tell you this. So you have to get your information from many different sources, right? This is from Forbes right here yesterday. See, this is yesterday's. They're saying it already. Housing market in free fall as new construction plummets. And then they're trying to call here's when reset could cool prices. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, right there. There you go. So you don't have to take it from me. All right. We already knew what was going to, we talked about this a year ago, 2 years ago. When the interest rates go up, real estate goes down. That's just the way it works. You don't have to guess on that. So they're saying new housing starts unexpectedly plunged. How? How's it unexpectedly plunged when these guys raised the interest rates 3 months ago, 0.5? They knew they're going to raise the interest rate because of inflation, at least 0.5 to at least 0.75. So how are you thinking that all of a sudden, it was going to stay the same? Or I don't understand. But this is how they write things to make it seem like it was unexpected. It was only unexpected for people that aren't here in the SSN Nation. Anybody who's in the SSN Nation, you guys already knew this was going down a year ago. This isn't something new. This is crazy. Remember last year I was going crazy when they didn't do anything. The Federal Reserve was just like, we're not going to raise interest rates. And they didn't do nothing at the end of 2021 either. I mean, they were just delaying the inevitable, allowing the balloon to go further by keeping the interest rates lower so then they can get the housing prices to even be more to lock people in at even that 20% increase in price. They locked people in. And now what's going to happen? Your equity is going to go down. It's not good. It's not good. So I can't remember the year over year because this isn't the article that I had, but they're saying it dropped 14.4% last month, which was the month of March. So that's a significant drop when you're talking about 1.8 million homes, and then it drops 300,000 homes is off the market. And then you're going to drop again in April. You're going to drop again in May. You're going to drop again in June. You're going to be under 1 million probably by the end of this at the end of June or July. So now the new home starts are going to start going away. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is how they wipe you out. You're out here thinking home prices, I'm buying this. It's a frenzy. All right. So there we go again. 5 million. Yep. UK. Yes, they will announce the housing price in September. Who is me? It's too late. It's already too late, actually. Just don't buy. I would suggest to reconsider buying a brand new home, single family home that you're going to live in. If you're buying a home or any property that you're going to rent out, then I highly suggest you do that. But it doesn't matter about that interest rate because you're basing your rate of return on that interest rate. So it makes sense, right? If you said I'm going to make $50,000 a year from this property and you only owe 20 and you're going to make 30, then it still makes sense. So if you get to a point where it doesn't make sense, then of course you can't invest. But that's how investment works. So you're not going to overpay. But a single family home, people will overpay because you get caught up in the euphoria. You get caught up into its mind. When in reality, that is not true. If you don't pay your taxes, if you don't pay the water bill, if you don't pay the sewer bills, if you don't pay bills on it, somebody could come for it. You live in an HOA, and some HOAs, if you don't pay your HOA, they could foreclose on your house. So just keep all this in mind. Do you really own something even when you buy something? That's the question, right? That's what's going to end up being the question because taxes are going up. No way around it. Doesn't matter who's in charge. Taxes are going up. That's just doesn't matter who's running the government. It's going up. First thing, let's put that infrastructure in for $600 and up. We want to be able to track that. Second thing, we're going to raise the taxes because now we can track you. Get the playbook right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That's how the middle class is getting wiped out. We're 2 hours and 19 minutes in. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about this evening. But again, please down below in the description below the video. Don't forget to go check out some of the offerings, the free Bitcoin, that you can get pennies a day. Start your own group by using your referral link with Crypto Tab. Go down and get your free stocks. And if you already got your free stocks from Webull, they have that special right now, 20 free stocks. If you refer people and somebody signs up, you can get up to 20 free stocks. In fact, you get 20 free stocks. This is a good time to get free stocks while the markets are down. They could go down further, but it's always good to get down somewhere hovering near the bottom, right? Which I don't think we're near the bottom, quite frankly. But nonetheless, that's some ways that you can help yourself out. And then, of course, I have the podcast link. Shout out to everybody on podcast. Thank you for listening. And then you go down and you can use live stream, what I'm using here today. There's other features in live stream, so you can use that. All right. And if you want to talk about anything, we're about to wrap this up after 2 hours and 20 minutes. So again, smash the like button, click the bell, click subscribe down below, then click the all notification bell, because they're tricky, and then go to the very bottom and sign up for the newsletter. Actually, I moved it to the top. So at the very top of the description, there'll be a newsletter. Please sign up for that. You have so many different things you can do. So make it happen, please. Now, I'm going to do something that I wasn't even going to talk about. We talked about UK. Let me see if it actually comes up. Owned by corporations. Let me see if it comes up. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. Dirty little secrets, right? Just like in America, when corporations are buying up zip codes, and this right here we go. This is very, very important. Because again, you guys don't understand when somebody's sitting there running a country and they start going, I want 0% interest rates, or I want interest rates to be close to zero. That is very bad for you as an ordinary citizen. Very good for you if you own corporations and companies, because you can get loans at damn near 0%. But here's what people don't know, is because they're not global. If you knew in the UK that not in UK itself, but in Europe, when they went down, so we're talking about Germany, France, Italy, if you knew starting in around 2009, 2010, these guys were already at 0% interest rates, their federal funds rate, then they went to negative. If you knew that, and then you fast forward to 2015, 2016, 2017, and you're sitting there going, wait, how did prices increase for real estate? It increased because when you have 0% interest rate and you can borrow $100 million, and then you're not going to care what the property value is. You're just going to buy it. And that's what happens. So I'm going to show you this right here. This is from 2017, actually. I just did a search so you guys can see. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. I lost it, but I wanted to show you. Oh, here we go. This is November 14th, 2017. So these countries are going to 0%, and then they went to negative. Who owns England? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't see it already, let me see if I can find this. Here it is. To be precise, I mapped 1.8 million of the 3.5 million land titles released by the Land Registry. All the ones include postcode locations. The remaining 1.7 million are rather trickier to map. These land titles are somewhat vaguer in their descriptions, like land north of whatever, Wagon, whatever, using OpenStreet. So 3.5 million titles are owned by 570,000 corporate and commercial bodies. Okay, you got that right. 570 corporate commercial bodies, limited companies, local authorities, housing associations, government, whatever. Limited companies, LLC types, 2.1 million homes, ladies and gentlemen. England doesn't have the amount of people in the United States that own jack crap. England, 2.1. We're at 2.6 right now. The second biggest category, local authorities and counties, cities, states, they have 600,000 titles. Corporate bodies, 200. You see how easy this is. These guys are up to 3.5 million titles are owned by corporations. Ask yourself something. What do you think just happened? 20% year over year. When in 2018, Powell agrees and says we're going to drop it to whatever it was, damn near 0.3%. 0.33, that's 0%, damn near, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy. So, of course, home prices are going to rise 20% year over year when you have corporations buying homes. So I just wanted to illustrate. Oh, you guys didn't see it, I don't think. Good grief. Did I have it on the screen? Didn't have it on the screen? Oh, man, that's too bad. I can't remember. But anyhow, here's the 3.5 owned by corporate and commercial bodies, and it's broken down. That's a lot of... Check this out. Check this out. So when you start talking about reducing interest rates, 55 million people in 2018 live in the United Kingdom, UK. 3.5 million properties in the UK are owned by entities. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. How many homes are in the UK? 27 million. These guys own more than 10% of homes in the UK or corporations own them. You don't think I can, do you think you can manipulate the market if you own more than 10% of the supply? I think you can, especially when you can buy them for 0% interest rates. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the middle class got wiped out in the UK. Simple. Same thing's happening here. That's why the United States, since they're the world currency, they have to increase their interest rates to a high enough level so then they can spur the economy by bringing it back down again. And then the bubble is going to get bigger than this bubble. So again, stand by what we talked about on Wednesday. Property values could drop. This is my guess, 40%. I don't see a problem with that. What we really want to look for, once it hits the 50%, I think it will, and I believe it's going to go south of that to 60. Anything you see right now for 500, take off 60%. All right, 6 times 5 is 30, so that's 30 to $300,000. $500,000 house, 300. Right? I mean, sorry, 200,000. So $500,000 house could be 200. $1 million house could be 400,000. Like I said, if you're serious about making a move into a home to live there single family, you always want to buy at the bottom, because then at that point you're rolling on free money. So you're going to have opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. They have messed up. They are not going to be able to borrow at 0% unless they bring the interest rate back down. All right. This is the simplest playbook I can explain. So you're going to be in position to pounce at 60% off. So again, I've been saying this on every live stream. If you're still here with me, I appreciate it. But again, if you're going to be in the real estate market in the United States, sit back, relax, watch the devastation occur, and try to get yourself a 2, 3, 4-year-old home 60% off. Could be a 1-year-old home for that matter. 60% off. That's when you pounce. If it drops to 70, that'd be shocking. But if you can get in that ballpark, when there's a recovery, you get the bigger recovery because you're the one that's going to have the custom and more expensive and a desirable place to live. So that's what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're about to wrap this up. My voice is getting hoarse. Yes, they will announce the housing price in September. That's right. Yeah, it's going to drop more because rates, 6 months. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be paying like 9, 10% in about 6 months. He's right. 6 months. you're going to be at around 8-9%. And in case you don't know what that means and you're new here, I'll go to another screen. I always like the mortgage calculator. You guys know that by now. Just so people will understand the significance. In case you're new, everybody here in the SSN Nation has seen this. All the guys with the icons have probably seen this before, but I can never say this enough. I can't illustrate this enough. The average home price in America, $428,000. Right? When it was, what's that? That's not thousand. That's dollars. 428,000. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. At 3.92%, which you will never be able to get again for a little while, is $2,000 a month. People were able to say, okay, I'll take that. I make $85,000, a year. But look what happens where we're at now. Look at this, 2024, and look at what happens here. 2,544, just off of 2 points, 2% increase. Now, here's what's going to happen right now. Shortly, you're going to be in this ballpark, $2,800 a month. That means you have to make over $100,000 a year now. That limits the amount of people that can qualify for this in your household. So you're going to pay $2,800 a month, but we're not at the peak yet. So therefore, what's going to happen when we get here? I'll drop it to 8.5. Look at this. That same $428,000 house, nobody's going to be paying $3,297. I mean, people will be, but not that many. That's over 10 G's a month just on a 30% DTI. They'll let you go to 35, but you're going to be at 120K minimum, and you'll be pushing it. You're going to have to be in the 150K range household-wise. And you're going to need a 740 and up, 760 and up potentially. That's around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about in 3 months probably. The eights are going to be around the corner. So therefore, you're going to have to drop the price. So now at 328, you're still going to have people unqualified at 25. So to match what the 3.9 is, look where you have to go. You have to get around 250. Say 270. So it looks like 270. So that matches where we were a year ago. 3.92 for a 428 house. 428 house, all of a sudden is 278 just to match the same. But you already know people will not be buying at this 8.52%. So you're going to have a situation 60% off. Like I said, that's where I'm looking for the numbers. 50 would be nice. 40 would be nice. 50 is better. 60 is the premium time as far as I'm concerned. If we can get there, we'll see. But the only way you're going to get there is if something crazy happens. And they do this. 10.5 is norm. Now we have a problem. All right. So we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We've been on here long enough. I went over the screen so I can show you what we're talking about. And hopefully this helps you understand how the middle class is getting wiped out. They're charging you more in taxes. That's coming. They're charging you more for businesses that you do that used to be side hustles. So they're saying you can do all the side hustles you want because $600 is all going to be tracked. Your homes. Prices are going to increase, whether it's going to be your insurance, whether it's going to be your energy, the water, sewer, garbage, whether it's going to be the taxes, it's going to go up. You're going to be paying more. So food-wise, we have supply chain issues. It's going to go up. That's how you wipe out the middle class. There's only so many jobs that are going to be paying people. Oh, man, I should have a calculator. But there's only so many jobs that's going to be able to pay people $100,000 a year, right? There's only so many jobs that's going to be paying people $200,000 a year. So that's why a lot of people have delved into trying to do YouTubes, the podcast, ulterior type of alternate jobs that normally previously weren't even a thing. This is why you're going to find a lot of retirees, 70-year-old, 67 newly minted retirees are going to be going back to the workforce, because there's no way that you could have envisioned that the price of gas could potentially be $6, $7, $8 a gallon. There's no way you could have thought that all the food you bought 5 years ago was going to cost 3 or 4 times as much. There's no way you can predict this. So that is one of the reasons why the middle class is getting wiped out, because you're getting wiped out not because you have your money in a bank. You're not, even if you did, you're not earning nothing. If you have it in any type of savings, you're not earning anything. Inflation is eating you alive. So therefore, even if you had the ultimate $1 million, you still can't sit there at ease. Why? Because if we're NASDAQ heavy, your $1 million now is 600 and some thousand. If you're on the index fund. If you would have bought, depending on what your Tesla, if you would have took individual stocks, depends on what happens with those. If you took ETFs, it depends on what happened with some of those. Kathy Wood's ETFs are down more than 35%. So if you would have had a combination of that and some stocks, and next thing you know, and some NASDAQ and ETFs and index funds, next thing you know, NASDAQ did 35%, but Kathy Woods did 45%. Next thing you know, you're sitting there going, what happened? You could be 50% down from your vaunted $1 million nest egg. And now you have to do what they did in Europe. You're going to take a risk now. You're going to go down there and say, well, I'm 75 years old. What am I supposed to do? And most people in Europe, they took their money out to make risky investments, because the bank, their negative interest rates, so that let's say they took it out, the 400,000 is being siphoned off every month. They're paying 0.5%. So you're sitting there paying $200 a month to have your money in a bank. That's crazy. So now you're sitting there going, well, I better risk it in the stock market. That's their plan. How do you get additional demand in the stock market? Well, you make sure people give money to people that invest in the stock market. So if a company comes out and says, I'm going to give you 5% or 10% on your money, and we invest in the stock market, you're going to say, hell yeah, I'll take that, when you're giving away $200 per month because you have $400K in their bank. And where else are you going to keep the money? There's inflation. So therefore, you're keeping your money in a negative situation, or in our case in America, 1%, which inflation is 20%. So you're losing out. So you can't keep your money in a bank. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they're wiping us all out. This is how it was done subtly, slowly, over time, with maneuvers that you didn't expect. Nobody has. And that's why crypto was very, very popular, will be popular. Because if that's ever to be something, then you would not be playing in that fiat system for them to wipe you out. But these things aren't keeping their value. It would have been, what would have happened if the crypto markets, if Bitcoin would have stayed at, what was it before it actually did it? Let's say it stayed at 30,000. Could you imagine if all the altcoins, all of Bitcoin stayed at its present, or not present, but its value a month ago? Their value 8 months ago, right? Everybody would love that. But let's just say a month ago, right? Where it's 30,000 for BTC. BTC, if it stayed the same, 30,000, 31, 32, and never dropped to 22, 21, or 20. When the stock market has dropped this year, like NASDAQ 35%, I think the Dow is at, it must be at 20 after this week. And then S&P's at, 17 or 15. But anyhow, imagine all that 15%, all that money, imagine people would have withdrawn even more out of the stock market. So these would be bigger losses for the stocks. And then they would have put them in crypto, because those would have been stable. Or they could have been rising, which is the weird thing, right? They didn't rise, even though stock market has been going down. Crypto's been going down with them, which means they have got their grip on crypto, because they don't want people taking money out of their stocks and companies and giving it into crypto. So there you have it. So we talked about this several times, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Victor Marrero, add $500 for property taxes and insurance. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. And then a tourist tax, which is incredible. Incredible. If you're doing that's incredible to me. But there's a reason. Florida has no state income tax, so they have to get the money from somewhere. So that's their state income tax. If you're doing some business, that's where it's coming from. Like, basically, that's what America was founded on. The tax system was founded on, if you have a business, you're the one that pays taxes. Individual people, you don't pay taxes. That's how it was supposed to be set up. The federal system was supposed to be just like Florida, Nevada. There's only a few states. Texas. There's only a few states where you don't have tax, and it was supposed to be business related, because business means you're making money, so you should pay tax. Okay, everybody can get with that. But then the United States said, we ran out of money. We have a problem. We're going to start this IRS, and you guys are going to pay taxes now on everything you earn. And then you're going to pay tax on that when you go down and buy food. Then you're going to pay tax on that when you go down and buy a car, because you're going to have registration. And then you're going to pay tax on that because you're going to have insurance on your car. Then you're going to pay more tax because you have to have insurance on your home. Then if somebody steals something out of your house, you might want to have insurance for theft, insurance for if you rent somewhere. So again, you're being taxed in the guise of different terminology. So that's also how you're getting wiped out, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to figure out, what do I have to do? You're going to have to do basically what everybody, you're seeing older people at fast food franchises. You're going to have to suck it up. Let's just call it what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's real out here in the field. You have to suck it up. You're going to have to figure out whatever you have to do. That's all the bottom line is. And it's not going to be pretty. So once again, I'm giving you some outs down below in the description. There's some things that can help you with the free Bitcoin, the free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. I'm giving you the Wealthfront down there where you could invest in Wealthfront. That's a set it and forget it type of thing. You put in $500 to $4,999, and they'll manage it for free. Once you go over 5,000, then they start taking a fee out. But again, if you're making money and the fee's good, but again, a stock market goes down, you may have a problem. They may not even be able to stop the bleeding. I also have SSN Lifestyle down here on Monday. Don't miss us. We're going to be talking with somebody from Smart Credit. They're going to show you how to improve your credit. I showed it earlier where we had a PDF up, but basically you go into the back office and they'll be able to tell you how to, in the back office, their software, it shows you when you pay your monthly payment, how you can increase your credit score. Because it's not based on your due date. So they actually have this system where they can say, okay, if you pay by this date, your score will increase by about 6 points. That's one of their features. They'll let you review all 3 credit bureaus. So that's a thing. They let you actually do it's not, well, in my opinion, it's not what it really is designed for. But what they're doing is they let you dispute to the actual creditor. That's much different than disputing to the credit bureau. All right. But in their software, they allow you to dispute anything with the creditor, which some creditors, they may do something, but traditionally they don't. That's why you have to get the credit bureau involved. But that's how it goes. All right. Now, start your podcast. Links down below. Want to do live streams like me on StreamYard, and many others use StreamYard. You may not know that others use StreamYard because they have other borders around, but you can use StreamYard. You want to record and you don't want to use OBS and you want to record, you can use StreamYard. I could record and then load it up to YouTube or any other platform. So StreamYard, I can be on the screen and then save this and not go live. I could have just made a video and I could have showed the screens that I've been showing so far. And then you could go and load it up on any other platform, whether that's YouTube, Vimeo, or any other place, right? Facebook, I guess, Instagram, as Reels. It all depends for how long it is. But again, you have those options. And funny thing, you know what? I haven't done a live stream on Instagram ever. What do you guys think? I think it's time I do it some once a week or something. Maybe I should do a live stream or just pop in or pop out on Instagram with the live stream just for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe announce it. Let me know what you guys think about that. And before we go, I'm going to play one more, a little promo as I call them. And we're going to go, I don't never really know where to go, but we'll go here. Since it's the World Series of Poker time.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap this up. SSN Lifestyle, yes, the link is down below. That is something that's come out that's new that I have specifically made for you guys, because you can have zero and you can still refer people. In fact, I should have mentioned this. The SS Music Festival is coming up in 2 weeks. There's a special deal for a studio that sleeps 2. If you're a member, you can refer somebody to the page, to the actual product itself. In fact, some people here are members. I'll just tell you, go in your back office. You'll see after SSN Lifestyle, there'll be a slash, and then you'll see a number. Usually, I think it begins with like pound and then A and then your some sort of ID number. You can go to any page on SSN Lifestyle. Whatever the URL is, at the end of the URL, you can add those last little numbers, alphanumeric numbers at the end, and you can send people directly to the page and you receive commission. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? All right. You go from 0 or a $149 membership or a $399 membership or a $599 membership or a $27.99, $2,799 membership. But again, the top dog membership, that's special. You're going to have to go check out all the special perks because only 15 spots are available for that Founders Club membership. Premier is $5.99, but only the Founders Club membership has special things that nobody else can have. And that is, they get to stay someplace every year for the life of their membership. How about that? All right. As long as you have your membership and as long as your monthly payments are made, then you have a week to stay somewhere on the planet in a 2-bedroom condo. All right. There you go. Now, or larger, quite frankly. Okay. I'll say it that too. Now, here's the thing. There's other perks too. I won't get into it because we're going to end this right now. But please join us on Monday. Smart Credit. Jimena is going to be in the house. She'll be here, and we're going to go over some something that can help you out with your credit score to increase it. Jimena Cortez or Jimena, but it should be Jimena Cortez. I haven't spoke to her yet, but Jimena Cortez will be here. 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Money Making Monday. The Smart Credit link is down below in the description if you want to get started now. Basically, it's $24.95 per month, and you get all 3 bureaus, but it does the Vantage score. And again, you can, it'll keep track of when you make your payments and what your credit score should increase to, or not the score itself, but how many points you should receive. So it's a system that's interactive, and it helps you monitor and maintain your credit profile and credit score, which is what you want to do in this next 2 years. You're going to have to be diligent, all right, because there's scammers out here. There's companies that are going to be doing crazy stuff to get write-offs and all kind of things, so they just don't care. So that's one of the things that you're going to have to be diligent about and make sure you're on top of your credit score, because that's another thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And with all that said, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.